Tennessee Macabre, the Marion County Messenger, and the Morning Raven are sponsored by Fade 2 LLC, with locations in Monteagle and in Jasper.
It sure does, Dingbat. And we better go check on her. But before we do, let's listen to a message from South Pittsburgh Storage.
Oh, bloody hell! Do you need a place to put your stuff? Call South Pittsburgh Storage at 423-815-1180. South Pittsburgh Storage has 192 climate-controlled storage units conveniently located at 212 First Street in downtown South Pittsburgh. Do you need a place to store your RV or your boat? Call South Pittsburgh Storage. They have RV and boat storage units available. Do you need a moving truck? Call South Pittsburgh Storage. They have Penske trucks for rent. South Pittsburgh Storage has a state-of-the-art security system so you can sleep soundly at night, knowing that your storage unit is safe and sound. Call 423-815-1180. When it's time for a sweet treat, where do you go? Why, JoJo's Scoops and Sprinkles, of course. JoJo's is spooning up 32 flavors of ice cream and 4 flavors of Italian ice with over 50 toppings. You can order sundaes, hot fudge cake, brownie delight, and good old-fashioned banana splits with all the toppings. They bake cookies, brownies, scones, muffins, and cakes, and they serve boba tea. Of course, they have my favorite Jelly Belly jelly beans. When it's time for a meal, where do you go? Why, JoJo's Scoops and Sprinkles, of course. JoJo's serves Nathan's hot dogs with chili and all your favorite toppings. You can order hot, crispy French fries to go with that dog. They serve a chicken salad sandwich that will make you slap your granny, as well as deli sandwiches, specialty sandwiches, club sandwiches, and nachos. You can find JoJo's at 904 Betsy Pack Drive in Jasper, or you can give them a call at 423-942-8954. We were all young once. Has aging got you worried? Fade 2 LLC has got you covered. Fade 2 LLC offers weight management kits, anti-aging therapies like neurotoxin and dermal fillers, as well as hydrofacials and platelet-rich plasma treatment for facial rejuvenation or hair growth. Fade 2 LLC offers a variety of cocktails for intravenous vitamin therapy. Fade 2 LLC has 2 locations: inside the Country Mart at 1045 West Main Street, Suite D4 in Monteagle, Tennessee, or inside Strand Salon and Day Spa, 115 Woodland Drive in Jasper.
Triple Six, long time no see.
Yes, it has been a while since I arrested you, but rather seen you.
Arrested?
Yeah, Grim took a 5% discount on some Egyptian jewels. Yeah.
Do you still have it?
I'm afraid not.
Well, thank you for the daring rescue, Grim.
From what? Dust bunnies? There's nobody down there.
I tell you, there was someone there, Grim. It was awful. There were long claws and no face. It was just terrible. And you know what? I'm not sure that Johnny's going to be able to unlive the shock of all this.
Well, he looks dead.
Yeah, stiff as starch and straight as a board, yeah.
I am shocked, I tell you, that an enlightened man such as yourself would harbor prejudice against those of us that have departed this mortal plane.
And another thing, Johnny prefers life-challenged American.
Well, I'm as progressive as the next guy, but how can you tell?
Well, I never.
Yes, I think he is quite emotive.
I see. Well, anyhow, I'm not here to dredge up old cases. I am actually here about the bat.
And so are we. The Bat from 1959 with Vincent Price, Agnes Moorehead, and Darla Hood. TJ, roll that batty footage.
The Oaks, a house in the country which I rented for the summer. As an author, I write tales of mystery and murder. But the things that happened in this house were far more fantastic than any story I've ever had published. I brought a staff of servants from my city apartment, and my maid Lizzie Allen, who had been with me nearly 20 years.
Lizzie?
Yes, Miss Cornelia.
Is the car ready?
It's at the door. Look, Miss Cornelia, them servants you brought from the apartment are talking about walking out on us.
Really?
Well, I
know they don't like it here, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, they've been hearing things about the killer that the police call the Bat and the murders that he committed here this past winter. Now people are saying that he's back again.
Well, how can they be sure of that? Has he committed another crime?
No, not yet, but that ain't saying that he won't. Here's something else. You've heard about the bats they have here. Animal bats, the kind that fly.
Yes, yes.
Look what it says in this magazine. This is a report from the State Health Department, and it says some of them bats is rabid.
Well.
And that ain't all. Now there's a rumor going around that it was the bat himself, the killer, I mean, that released the rabid bats in this neighborhood.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, the housekeeper, the cook, the butler, and the upstairs maid don't think so.
Well, I can't help but they think. If hysterical nonsense like that can scare them out of their good jobs, it's their loss, not mine. Come on, Lizzie, I've got to get to the bank. Drive directly to Zenith Bank, Warner. I'm afraid we'll have to hurry. It's near closing time.
I'll get you there, Miss Van Gorder.
Thanks again.
Miss Van Gorder.
How do you do, Mr. Barry?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You remember Lizzie Allen?
Of course. Hello, Miss Allen.
How do you do?
So you're spending the summer with us again?
Yes, yes. I've leased the Oaks, the home of your bank president, John Fleming.
I heard you had. I was surprised.
Why? Is there something the matter with it?
No. I was surprised because Mr. Fleming said he would never rent it.
Oh? Well, I rented it from his nephew, Mark Fleming, who has the real estate office here. He said his uncle would be gone the entire summer.
That's right. Mr. Fleming's in the North Woods now with his physician, Dr. Wells. Oh, pardon me. Dale, I want you to meet my wife. We were married at Christmas time.
That must have been nice.
Believe me, it was. Oh, here she is.
Oh, dear.
My
How
wife,
do you
Miss Van Gorder, Miss Allen.
How do you do, Mrs.
How do you do? Cornelia Van Gorder.
Yes.
Oh, well, I've read every murder mystery you've ever written. I just adored that weird one, The Private Morgue of Dr. X, even though it gave me the shivers.
Only the shivers? Scared hell out of me.
Oh.
Well, I really mean that Miss Corney killed them off in that one.
When you refer to my books, please don't call me Miss Corney.
Pardon me, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Hines is here to see you.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, please. Don't be strangers now.
No, no,
I
we
should
won't.
say not.
Oh, so you're a bride.
Well, not quite.
Not since Christmas.
No, I'm sure I've seen you. Well, I used to be my husband's secretary here in the bank.
Of course I remember.
May I welcome our most distinguished visitor back to Zenith?
Oh, that's very charming, but,
Lieutenant Anderson.
Lieutenant Anderson, of course. Chief of Detectives of the Zenith Police Department. This is Miss Allen.
Miss Allen.
How do you do?
Lieutenant Anderson is one of our favorite citizens. He's on the bank's board of directors.
Not bad for a policeman.
You must have made a good thing of it.
Oh,
Well, I saved my money, if that's what you mean.
It's near closing time, and I've got some business in the safe deposit vault. Please come and see me, Mrs. Bailey.
Oh, I'd love to.
And you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Nice to meet you. My, what a charming woman. She moved into the Oaks just the other day.
That house is a proper setting for a writer of mysteries.
Oh, it certainly is. Dick, what's the matter?
Come in here, both of you. Andy, we're in trouble. Wendell Hines came in to pick up $350,000 worth of bonds that we were holding as collateral for a loan. They were kept in our special vault. Mr. Fleming and I are the only officers of the bank who have access to that vault.
So?
The Hines bonds are gone. That's not all. Other negotiable securities are missing. From what I can gather, short of a careful check, the bank has been looted of over $1 million worth of securities.
You'll have to notify Fleming.
I wish I could talk to him. Unfortunately, he and Dr. Wells are deep in the woods. They can't be reached by phone.
What is it?
I thought I heard someone on the path coming from the lake. Had an idea it might be that guide of ours.
Oh, Sam won't show up until morning. It's a 20-mile canoe trip from here to civilization.
5 will get you 10. Sam has a message for me.
I thought you told him at the bank not to bother you.
I did, but they'll bother me. Doctor.
Yes, John.
What would you do for $500,000?
Anything short of murder.
Why not murder?
Too messy.
Too great a risk?
For $500,000? Yes.
I pinched $1 million from the bank. Well, I'm not kidding. I embezzled it.
Not that I think you wouldn't do it if you thought you could get away with it.
I got away with it. I'm not talking about currency. I took negotiable securities that could be converted into cash. I have the cash. In 10s, 20s, and 100s.
Well, I'm your doctor, not your lawyer. Why tell me this?
You'll find out why.
Who's going to take the blame for the robbery?
Bailey, the cashier. They'll never suspect me.
I like Bailey.
Well, so do I. I love the guy. I gave him his first chance.
He has a lovely little wife.
Charming girl. Was the best man.
Where's the $1 million?
In my family's tomb in Zenith. In the crypt with my father's casket.
I don't buy that, John.
No?
No. You forget that I had you in charge when you were a very sick man. When you raved in delirium. And I heard you talk about a hidden room. Now, where else could you put a hidden room except in that mansion you built? That white elephant you call the Oaks.
Look, everyone knows I have a bad heart. Now, who would doubt it if you wired the bank directors that my heart had failed? That I had fallen from a great height here in the woods. And that I was badly smashed up. You could ship the body back for burial and instruct them not to open the casket due to the condition of its contents.
Well, you realize, of course, that we'd have to have a body to put in that casket, which means that we'd have to deal with an undertaker at this end.
Of course.
Well, where do we get a body?
Couldn't we provide one of our own? How about Sam?
Sam, our guide?
Sam weighs about as much as I do. He's practically a hermit. He wouldn't be missed for a long time.
The local undertaker would know him.
Not if we made him look as if he'd been a serious accident.
But if Bailey's going to take the blame, why'd he have to do this?
A jury might acquit him. In that case, I'd be a logical suspect. I could disappear, of course, but it's safer if they think I'm dead.
What if I don't go for this deal?
In that case, it would be too bad.
You mean you'd kill me?
What else could I do? Now that I've told you about the $1 million, I'd say you were shot in a hunting accident. Now, look, Doctor, if you can find another body instead of Sam's, it's all right with me. There's $500,000 in it for you.
I'll do my best.
I smell smoke.
So do I. What's that noise?
Look, Doctor, the woods are on fire. It's coming this way. We've got to get out of here. Out the back way.
We will. As soon as I provide that body we were talking about.
What are you reading, Grim?
Staples Spine Magazine. It's by our friend DJ Jack Rudio. He also has a show called Stapled Sounds on X-Ray FM out of Portland, Oregon. You can listen to it on the internet. It's about everything horror Oregon.
What's horror Oregon?
Well, it's just everything that has to do with horror in the Oregon area. He was inspired by Oregon's own horror host, Tarantula Ghoul.
I'm going to have to check that out.
You should. You're going to love it.
Tired of living, want to die? Well, here's a real good reason why.
The graveyard walk.
It all begins about 12 o'clock when the graves all open and we start to rock.
Graveyard rock.
It's cool.
Graveyard rock.
In the graveyard.
Graveyard rock.
Everybody digs a graveyard rock. Every night is just like Halloween. There's rock and roll this graveyard scene.
Graveyard rock.
It's cool.
Graveyard rock.
In the graveyard.
Graveyard rock.
Everybody digs a graveyard rock. Never had such fun since the day I died, when they pumped me full of formaldehyde.
Graveyard rock.
Cool.
Graveyard rock.
In the graveyard.
Graveyard rock.
Everybody digs a graveyard rock. Not a soul is missing, everybody's there. Rock, rock, rockin' in the cool night air.
Graveyard rock. Graveyard rock.
In the graveyard.
Graveyard rock.
Everybody digs a graveyard rock.
Let's rock.
The party's over, boys. So close those coffin lids.
Lizzie, is that you? Yes, Miss Cornelia. There's a storm coming up, and it's gonna be a snorter. The wind nearly blew the door off its hinges.
Well, that noise blew my game higher than a kite. I think I've lost some of the cars.
Oh, I'll get them for you.
Oh, I see you found the paper.
Drat that paper boy, scooting by on his bicycle, just chucked it into a clump of bushes and let it go at that. For land's sake, Mr. Vic Bailey's been arrested.
Oh?
I think.
Victor Bailey, vice president and cashier of the Zenith Bank, was arraigned before United States Commissioner Alvin Fielding, charged with the embezzlement of over $1 million. I can't believe Vic Bailey had anything to do with that robbery. Oh, well, I see our landlord is home again.
Landlord?
Mr. Fleming. Dr. Malcolm Wells is back in town with the body of John Fleming, president of the Zenith Bank, who was killed in a forest fire. Mr. Fleming will be laid to rest in his family's tomb on Friday.
And I hope he stays there.
Well, why shouldn't he?
Well, this is his house. And ever since he died, some funny things have happened here.
For instance?
The housekeeper, the cook, and the butler said that they heard strange noises at night. And the upstairs maid swore that she met a man without a face coming up the back stairs.
Oh, so that's why they quit and left me to run this place without a staff.
They didn't tell you, Miss Corney, but the truth is they were scared to stay.
But you're still here, Lizzie. Haven't you seen anything?
No. No, and even if I had, I ain't afraid of ghosts. They're afraid of me. Honest, Miss Corny. A spiritualist told me once that ghosts was allergic to me. But this Bat feller they keep talking about in the paper, I guess he'd be different.
No, I don't think you'd have the same effect on him.
What are they trying to do? Drive people away from this part of the country?
Why, what does it say about the bat?
Specialty seems to be killing women. My goodness, 2 of them in one night. All his victims died the same way, like their throats had been ripped open with steel claws.
That's a charming little caper. I'll have to try it sometime.
In a book. That ain't nothing, just something bumping against the house. That's just the wind banging a door. Pay no attention to it. Listen to this. One of his victims, who lived for a moment after she was found, described the bat as a man without a face. Honest, Miss Corny, I think that woman must have been exaggerating. That's just that heavy tapestry at the top of the stairs.
I know. I've heard it before on a windy night. That sounds as if there was someone on the stairs. I know there isn't. At least there shouldn't be.
There ain't. Them's just the noises you hear in any old house on a windy night. It says here that the bat never leaves no fingerprints.
That's understandable. Having no face, he probably has no fingers either. Lizzie! And that, I suppose, is the cat dropping its dentures.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's something should be looked into. Now, who chucked him down here?
The wind, I hope. There must be a window open up there. No, Lizzie. Let him lay. Let him sleep it off. I hope the power lines don't go down and put the lights out. Now, we'll check the windows in the living room and draw the curtains, and then we'll go to bed.
Yes, ma'am. I won't be a minute.
Gordy!
Oh! What's that?
Oh, I went to get the tape. I turned the latch off. I forgot to turn it on again. He's out there. He was coming in. He might have got you.
Oh, but he didn't, and he's still out there, thanks to you. Now, you hurry now, and we'll call the police.
No, I won't leave you, Miss Corny.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am, I'm okay.
Okay.
Operator?
Give me the police department, please.
Zenith Police Department.
This is Cornelia Van Gorder. I'm living at the Oaks.
We know about that, Miss Van Gorder.
Just a moment ago, a man tried to force his way into this house.
You're not alone there, are you? What about your servants?
Well, I have none except my chauffeur, and he's away. He won't be back until the morning. Now, there's only 2 of us here tonight, and we're going to lock ourselves in my room. Now, if any of your men see anything, will you have them call me?
I'll send officers over there right away.
Oh, thank you very much. Come on, Lizzie. We're going to sleep in my room. Well, nothing can get at us in this room now, I think. This door seems good and solid.
Like the door to a tomb.
couch will be comfortable. There's some extra bedding, you know.
Yes,
closet.
miss.
Let's see now. Huh? No bolt. Well, that's not so good.
What's that for?
That, my good woman, is a booby trap. If anybody tries to open this transom, this will be knocked off, and we'll hear it fall.
Fiddlesticks. I forgot my night things, my robe, my gown, and my slippers. I'll go get 'em now.
Now, wait a minute, Lizzie. I'll go with you.
Now, don't you bother, Miss Cornelia. My room's just down the hall.
Lizzie, I told you to wait.
It's all right. I'll only be a second. Get
Yes?
Miss Van Gorder?
Yes?
Zenith Police Department. There's a police car just outside your house, and the officers in it have reported that there's no sign of a prowler anywhere on the grounds.
Oh, the man's inside now. He's in the hall, just outside my bedroom. Have your men break through the kitchen door and search this place from top to bottom.
Okay, Miss Van Gorder. Sit tight.
I will. I have a gun, and I know how to use it. Relax, Lizzie. The police did a good job. They couldn't find anybody in here.
But we both saw him, Miss Cornelia.
All right, so he got away. But there are men on guard outside, so just try and get some rest. There's nothing can get at us here. You've had a nightmare.
Maybe I did. But there was a bat and it bit me. And it flew in that closet.
Oh, good gracious, Lizzie, you're right. Operator, will you get me Dr. Malcolm Wells' office, please? No, I don't know his number, and I have no phone book up here, but this is an emergency. Will you connect me with his office, please?
Oh, dear, I'm going to get the rabies.
Hello?
Hello? Dr. Wells' office?
This is a call service. Dr. Wells is out at the moment, but if you'll give me your name and number, I'll try to locate him.
Well, this is Miss Van Gorder of the Oaks. My maid has just been bitten by a bat that may be rabid, and she must have treatment as soon as possible. And I was told that Dr. Wells was the nearest physician.
I'll try to find him for you, and if I can't, I'll send you another doctor.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Oh, he's out on a case. Oh, I hope it's not a delivery. A baby, I mean. They can be terribly complicated.
It never bothered me none.
Oh, Lizzie, you never had a baby.
Of course I didn't. That's why they never bothered me.
Oh, does it hurt, huh?
Little.
Dr. Wells. Are you there, Dr. Wells? This is the operator. Your call service is on the wire. It's an emergency.
This is Dr. Wells.
This is your call service, Doctor.
Oh, hello. I was just doing an experiment. I left the receiver off.
That's what I thought, but I kept trying. Miss Van Gorder at the Oaks called and said that her maid had been bitten by a bat, and she's afraid it might be rabbit.
What? Oh, all right. Tell her I'll be right over there.
Who's there?
Dr. Wells.
Come in.
Good evening.
Oh, I'm so glad they found you, Doctor.
Well, I reached my office shortly after you called. How is your maid? Is she in any pain?
No, she doesn't seem to be.
Did the bat get away?
No, I believe it's still in my bedroom.
Oh, good. I'll want to examine it. There you go, Miss Allen. Now you feel better?
Doctor, have I got the rabies?
Well, I can tell you better after I've examined the bat's brain under a microscope.
That thing's got a brain?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Where is it?
I think the little darling is in that closet.
Oh. You know, it's a pity you leased this house, Miss Van Gorder.
Why a pity?
Well, my dear lady, I don't want to alarm you, but...
Oh, well, after tonight, nothing can alarm me.
Yes, I understand. It must have been terrifying. So many unexplainable things have happened here. There's something about the place. Your servants must have sensed it when they walked out on you. An apprehension of disaster. Well, let's see. Aha! Yes. There he is. All right, now. Take it easy. Nobody's going to hurt you. Quiet now. Quiet. And he looks quite normal. Doesn't seem to be sick at all.
Oh, ain't that nice? I've been worried about him.
Well, you should be. From his appearance, I'd say that he doesn't have any infection. In which case, you've had a narrow escape. Now, you take one of those tablets I left for you, and I'll guarantee you a good night. And I'll drop in on you tomorrow.
Oh, thanks for everything, Doctor.
Now, don't worry, I can find my way out.
Oh, I know you can, but do let me help you.
Oh, don't forget that once I'm gone, you'll have to climb those stairs alone.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm armed now.
Can you shoot one of those things without shutting your eyes?
Oh, Doctor, there are guns in every book I've ever written. I don't write about things I'm unfamiliar with. Lock the door, Lizzie.
Good night.
Yes, ma'am. Good night, Doctor.
Accident?
No, the wind blew him down.
Oh.
I think.
Oh. Did you know that young Mark Fleming leased you this house without notifying his uncle?
No, I didn't.
Well, it doesn't matter now. John Fleming is dead, and Mark's his heir. But if John were alive, he would warn you to leave here, Miss Van Gorder.
Really?
Yes. It's been a tragic place for anyone who ever lived in it. Well, good night.
Good night, Doctor.
Who's out there?
Nobody you need worry about, Doctor.
Oh, it's Andy.
That's right. Oh, good evening, Miss Van Gogh.
Good evening, Lieutenant.
Somebody sick here?
My maid was bitten by a bat.
A rabid bat?
Well, I'll know for sure when I get to my lab. I caught the bat.
It happened indoors?
In my bedroom.
How'd it get in?
Well, there are many ways a bat could get in a house.
You ought to know. I spotted this hole in the window the minute I got here.
Why?
That's where the two-legged bat got your door open.
Miss Van Gorder told me that she phoned headquarters at Zenith.
Yes, I phoned twice. The second time was after the prowler got in the house.
Weren't you at headquarters, Andy?
No, but they contacted me.
An officer came and searched the house from top to bottom, but they couldn't find the bat.
You better have this window fixed tomorrow.
Oh, yes, I certainly shall.
Listen, I'd better be going. I'm due in surgery at 8 o'clock in the morning. Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
There will be a man patrolling the grounds all night, Miss Van
Oh,
Gorder.
thank you.
And nobody inside, Andy?
Why should there be?
Well, how do you know but what the bat is hiding somewhere in the house?
I'm quite sure he isn't in the house, Doctor. Not now. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Andy. Hello, Mark. Well, congratulations. Real estate business must be picking up. New office, new furniture.
New deal. How do you like it?
Looks expensive. Are you squandering your inheritance?
Oh, I haven't got it yet.
Well, the paper says John Fleming left his entire fortune to you.
Funny thing about that entire fortune is that we can't find it.
No kidding.
Oh, all Uncle John had in his bank account was a couple of $100. And his safe deposit box was empty.
If we don't find that missing million, mine will be empty, too.
How come?
Well, all my savings were invested in Zenith Bank stock. The examiners won't certify the bank as solvent until those stolen securities are found. So the stockholders have voted an assessment that will wipe some of us out. It's a since those securities have been converted into cash. And if I can't find that cash, I'm sunk.
Well, where are you going to look for it, Andy?
Here in Zenith. Your uncle wouldn't take $1 million on a hunting trip, would he?
You suspect Uncle John? Why, Andy, he founded the Zenith Bank. That'd be like robbing the family tomb.
You think he wouldn't?
Well, besides, Vic Bailey's fingerprints are all over the vault. Now, they didn't find any of Uncle John's fingerprints.
Because he wiped them off.
Can the defense prove that?
They'll try to. Judy Hollander, Bailey's secretary, is a defense witness. And they believe her testimony will have a powerful effect on the jury.
Oh, well, she has a powerful effect on me. Judy's a doll.
Here's the book you mentioned, Judy.
It's your newest one.
Yes, it's just been published. You can have that copy if you wish.
Oh, it's a first edition and you've signed it.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
May I serve tea now, Miss Van Gorder?
Yes, please do, Warner.
Thank you.
Well, I see you've engaged new servants.
Yes, of course.
Well, how did you persuade them to live in this house?
Well, Jane Patterson, my new housekeeper, knows this house better than you do, Doctor.
Oh?
She worked for John Fleming. And Warner was my chauffeur.
Chauffeur turned butler?
Yes, incredible. He can play any part at a moment's notice. Did you get a plumber, Warner?
No, we can't get a plumber for 3 days, madam.
What about that leaking pipe? The basement will be flooded in 3 days.
Well, the pipe is no longer leaking.
You mean it's dried up of its own accord?
No, not quite. I packed the elbow where the water was coming out.
Packed the elbow? Oh, where did you learn how to do that?
Well, into each life, a little rain must fall, and a careful man learns to keep himself dry. Now, is there anything else that you require, Miss Van Gorder?
No, not at the moment, Warner.
Thank you, madam.
Now, there's a character.
How long did you say that he worked for you as chauffeur?
About 3 months.
Well, I hope he doesn't have a police record. My dear Dale, it may interest you to know that the last night of his life, John Fleming told me that he loved your husband like a son. If Fleming were alive today, he would be fighting to prove Vic's innocence.
Could Mr. Fleming prove his own innocence?
Miss Van Gorder, can there be any doubt about it?
There will be when Miss Hollander testifies at Vic's trial.
Oh? You know something that we haven't heard yet, Judy?
Something I saw with my own eyes. She's not permitted to say what it was.
My dear girl, I wouldn't think of asking her. But let's assume for a moment that Fleming did steal the $1 million. Now, what would he do about it? Where is it?
Hidden someplace where he could lay his hands on it without getting caught in the act. Now, if I was writing this, instead of living in the middle of it, I'd hide it right here in this spooky old house.
Under a loose floorboard or up a chimney?
If Mr. Fleming had the nerve to steal $1 million, he'd make his plans well in advance. I'd say he'd prepare a place to hide it. Possibly when this house was being built. Now, I rented this place from Mark Fleming, his nephew. I wonder if he'd have the floor plans.
I'll ask him.
Yes. Lizzie, will you bring Mrs. Bailey the phone? Oh, you ask him now. His number is Summit 7537.
Oh, thank you, Lizzie. Summit
7537.
Not bad, eh, Andy? That means new business. Now, you see, somebody wants to buy a house. Mark Fleming speaking. Oh, hello, Dale. Well, hang on a minute, honey, while I see if I have him. It's Dale Bailey, all excited. Miss Van Gorder wants to know if I have the floor plans of the Oaks. Now, what would she want with the floor plans?
Well, she suggested to me that your uncle might have hidden the bank loot there. Are the plans here?
Somewhere in the house itself. Wait a minute, there is a place where Uncle Johnny might have kept those blueprints.
What place?
Well, I heard him talk about it a good many years ago. I can't be sure of the exact location. Anyway, I don't think the old boy had the guts to steal $1 million. But if I find those plans, I'll let you know, Andy. Hello, Dale. Look, honey, I haven't seen those plans since I was a kid, but I'll come over tonight and maybe we can find them.
Thank you, Mark. We'll expect you. He seems to think they're here in the house somewhere. He's coming over tonight.
Well, that's good. Dale and Judy are my house guests for the weekend. Would you like to have dinner with us tonight?
Oh, no, thank you. I couldn't. I still have a few calls to make. You know, if Judy's testimony is going to clear Vic Bailey and implicate John Fleming, others may get the idea that there's buried treasure in this house. Don't even mention your testimony until you're actually on the stand.
Oh, I won't.
That's a smart girl, Judy. And a very lovely girl. Well, good afternoon, ladies.
Goodbye,
Doctor.
Dr. Will.
Come on, girls, let's go. I should be putting them down on paper. Weren't you your husband's secretary, Dale?
Yes, I was.
Do you take shorthand?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dear, if you'd like to have your mind occupied, I want you to work with me while I write the story of this fantastic criminal, the Bat. you. It's really nice. Good dinner, Lizzie. As usual.
Wonderful. Oh, what a lovely piece of silver. It's an original, isn't it?
Yes, they still use them in England for buffet breakfasts. I've got water in the bottom. Keeps your kippers hot, your sausages, and your scrambled eggs. Interesting. It's very useful. Really nice. Clock hasn't struck the hour in the last 10 years, if I'm to believe what Mark Fleming told me.
Why is it angled away from the wall like that?
I don't know. Somebody must have moved it. Lizzie, very likely when she was dusting.
Wait a minute. Did you know there's a door in this paneling?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my gracious, so there is.
Maybe it opens to a secret passage.
Oh.
Well, certainly to a secret something.
It's exciting.
Who knows, girls? We'll be about to stumble on that missing million.
Oh.
Panel, there's a panel. There must be some gimmick to it. There always is. Yes, yes, move.
Calling car 11. Calling car 11. Proceed to the Oaks in Zenith Township immediately. A homicide has been reported.
Okay. Proceeding to the Oaks. Notify the county coroner, Dr. Wells. Tell him to come to the Oaks at once.
Horrible.
As if his throat has been torn by some creature with fangs or claws.
That's his sign. We found it on the others he killed. I'd hoped those reports that he was up to his old tricks again were pure imagination, but apparently they're based on fact. He's come back. Back to the scene of his kills.
Yes, that's who I mean. That's who did this. The bat. Who found Mark?
We all did. And it's Dale and Judy and I. Lizzie was in the dining room. This is my new housekeeper, Jane Patterson. You know, she worked for John Fleming.
I know her. Where were you, Mrs. Patterson?
In the kitchen, cleaning up. I cooked the dinner tonight.
Did you know that the secret closet was here?
It was behind the grandfather's clock.
Well, it was I who found it, really. Noticed the clock had been moved and the door wasn't quite closed.
I'll get it.
Who is it? Mark Fleming.
As coroner, you saw the same wounds on the others. How long's he been dead?
Oh, I'd say about a half an hour. Do you believe it was the bat?
That's a bat's trademark.
Perhaps he's still in the house.
That's possible.
Why should he be?
Because he's looking for something, and like you, he believes it's here. And he's a persistent killer. I would advise you to get out of this house as quickly as possible, notwithstanding our expert police protection. Have you called the morgue?
They're on their way here.
Oh, good. I want to examine the body before they get here. May we take it into another room?
Yes, to the sunroom in the back.
Thank you. Give me a hand.
Excuse me. Oh, Warner, where have you been?
Well, madam, has been an accident?
There's been a murder. Mark Fleming, the young man from whom I leased this place, was killed here tonight.
They know who did it?
Well, they believe it was the bat.
I'm sorry I had to use the front door, Miss Van Gorder, but I forgot my keys, and when I rang the bell at the kitchen door, there was no response.
Oh, this is Warner, Lieutenant. He's my butler. He was my chauffeur.
Why'd you promote him?
But it's very difficult to find a butler. They don't like service in the country.
Have you been a butler before?
I've served in many capacities, sir, but this was my night off, and I forgot my keys.
I heard that part. What time did you leave the house tonight?
Oh, about 6:30. I had dinner at Wiley's Roadhouse.
Can you prove where you spent the rest of the evening?
I can try.
Try hard. And don't leave the house. I'll get to you later.
Very good, sir. I shall be in my room, Miss Van Gorder, if you need me.
Yes, Warner. Surely you don't think he's...
Warren and I've met before. I can't recall where or when, but I will. There'll be a crew here shortly from headquarters, dusting for fingerprints, taking photographs. But in the meantime, Mrs. Patterson, you aren't leaving the house tonight, are you?
No, Lieutenant.
Don't. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, Miss Van Gorder.
Dale, I was with Mark Fleming this afternoon when you talked to him about the floor plans of this house. I heard him tell you he was coming here tonight.
Dale called him at my request. She told me he was coming.
Who else heard her tell you that?
Judy, Lizzie.
And that nice Dr. Wells.
Dr. Wells. There are a few killers who kill for the fun of it. But that very likely is a mental case, and I'm convinced that his crimes are motivated by his mania for personal gain. There's $1 million at large, and he's going to keep on hunting for it until he lays his hands on it. Now, these young ladies are staying here tonight?
Yes, they're my house guests.
Well, when my crew arrives, we'll be busy for a while, so I'd suggest that
That we go to our rooms? That's a very good idea. Come on, girls. What about a police guard for this house tonight, Lieutenant?
You've got one. I'm going to cover this place tonight from the attic to the basement. If the bat makes another call, I'll have a little surprise for him.
Who is he? Have you any idea?
He could be anybody. So far, there are clues to his identity, but nothing we could take before a jury. I'm afraid we must look higher than the criminal world. He may be a merchant, lawyer, doctor, scientist, one of the pillars of his community. Ladies, lock your doors tonight. Stay behind them. I promise you you'll be safe. Good night.
Good night, Lieutenant. Good night.
You know, this movie really has an incredible cast. Of course, Vincent Price as the good doctor. And then there's Agnes Moorehead of Bewitched fame as the mystery writer, Cornelia von Gorder. And then there's Darla Hood as Julie Hollander.
Yo, she looks familiar to me.
She should. She played Spanky and Alfalfa's main squeeze in the series Our Gang.
That's right. This was Darla's first and only adult role in a motion picture. Yeah.
Well, anyway, this film is more like a Poverty Row production from the early 1930s, like Monogram's Devil Bat.
Well, yes, but except with better production value and Vincent Price instead of Bela Lugosi.
You know, it was based on a 1908 novel called The Circular Staircase, written by Mary Robert Reinhardt. And then in 1926, Mary Hickford produced a silent version of the film. Then RKO produced this little gem.
So it's a throwback to an earlier era.
That's all well and good, but we do have a killer on the loose. But that is back.
Is he killing women again, 666?
Yes, and he stepped up his game this time. Not just any women, he's killing witches.
I told you there was someone there. Johnny, what are we going to do?
Not to worry, madam, but HQ has received intelligence that you are intended to be his next victim, and I was sent by the League of Incredibly Starchy Gentlemen to ensure your safety.
Well, that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy.
You know, Ravinia, in these new digs, I have a really large crypt. You, of course, are welcome to join me if you need to.
Then we can have 2 host here on the show. Yeah.
While Dingbat and Morty comfort Ravinia, let's take a little break and listen to a message from Sassy Soaps and Scrubs.
Make every shower a spa experience. Indulge yourself in the amazing all-natural soaps that Sassy Soaps and Scrubs have to offer. Beautiful sugar scrubs are made from 100% organic coconut oil and table sugar. They are available in a bouquet of aromas. The first time you use these, you will realize what your skin has been missing all along. Pamper your skin with one of Sassy Soaps and Scrubs' whipped body butters: mango butter, cocoa butter, jojoba oil, sunflower oil, vitamin E oil, with arrowroot powder to eliminate greasiness. Just click on your favorite scent and scroll down to the whipped body butter and click the tab. Now, what spa treatment would be complete without some special treatment for your hair? Sassy Soaps and Scrubs has shampoo and conditioner bars that will make your hair and scalp healthier. They won't dehydrate and strip your hair of its natural oils, so you will find your scalp dandruff and itch free. After 3 washes, you will see a massive difference in weigh down, texture, and the look of your hair. You're going to be happy to throw those old shampoo and conditioner bottles out. Sassy Soaps and Scrubs also makes specialty soaps for baby showers, bridal showers, or customized for any event. You can order Sassy Soaps and Scrubs at ssas22.myshopify.com.
Sure, we all want to go somewhere with great sandwiches, great dinner, and lunch options, but we also want to go somewhere where we can enjoy a great meal with great people. I have just the place. Sue Bob's Diner at 2573 Tennessee 283 in Powell's Crossroads, Tennessee. They're open 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Tuesday through Friday and 7 to 2 on Saturday. You can grab blueberry pancakes, a country breakfast, a hen house burger, chili and grilled cheese, a catfish plate, or try one of their fantastic daily specials. And don't forget the pie. Sue Bob's is now offering delivery Wednesday through Friday 11 to 5. You can call Sue Bob's at 423-658-8575.
X-Ray FM is Portland Community Radio.
Progressive talk in the day.
Music on evenings and weekends.
Radio is yours.
We need to track this fiend down.
So we better get back to the bat before the bat gets to us.
Poor Mark.
Yeah, it's a pity. So young. Well, Doctor, do you agree it was the bat?
In my report, I shall say the death was caused by the same technique used in the other killings. A paralyzing blow to the throat, followed by severe lacerations of the jugular, resulting in excessive hemorrhage.
In a layman's language, he didn't know what hit him.
Oh, he knew. But he didn't have time to think about it. You staying here tonight, Andy?
Well, until I check the doors and windows, but I'll be back bright and early in the morning.
Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
A lot of people are due for a shock when I close this case.
Yes, I'm sure they are. Good night, Andy. Don't get hurt.
Good night, Doctor.
You know, I think we'd better let you get some sleep.
Oh, well, Lizzie and I share this room for mutual protection. You know, one night, a storm blew the wires down, put the lights out, and I went out the next day and bought a half a dozen of these things. You better take one with you, Dale.
Oh, thank you.
We'll go across the hall now.
Are you sure there's nothing else you need?
Oh, no. Quite sure. We'll be all right.
Well, if anything bothers you, you just sing out, and 2 strong women will come to your rescue.
Oh, nothing will bother us. Not with Andy on the job. No.
Well, good night.
Good night,
Good night,
Miss Van
girl.
Gorder.
Don't worry, everything will be all right.
No, we won't. Good night.
Good night.
I don't think I'll sleep tonight.
Me neither.
All I can see is poor Mark Fleming staring at us. I thought that when people died, their eyes closed, as in sleep.
Don't think about it.
I'll bet you're thinking about it.
No, I was thinking of my poor husband sleeping in jail tonight. Oh, Judy, I love him so much.
Noise.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of fell half asleep. For a moment, I thought it was something from a dream.
It's somewhere in the house.
Yes, on the floor above.
Not directly over us. Probably a room overlooking the driveway.
Should we call Miss Van Gorder?
She'll hear it. How can she help but hear it? Oh, besides, we don't want her to think we're a couple of hysterical women.
Oh, I'm about to become one.
Dear.
I've had it for one night. Dale, you're not going out in that hall.
I want to know what's happening up there.
But Lieutenant Anderson said if we stayed behind our locked doors, we'd be safe.
Vic isn't safe locked up in that jail.
Oh, but...
Suppose that stolen money is in this house. Mark Fleming seemed to think it was. Maybe that's what somebody's looking for.
Don't you hear that awful noise up there? Now, Lizzie, you just got to stay awake. The house phone and the outside phone wires have been cut, and we can't get help.
Where's that policeman?
Oh, I don't know. Something must have happened to him. Now, go on, get on your robe.
Oh, Dale, please don't go up there. I've got to. Think what it could mean to Vic. Now, you stay here.
Oh, no. If you go, I go.
You wait here. I'm going to see what it is.
Oh, please let me go with you.
Judy, will you warn me if anyone comes? I'll only be a moment. Now, wait.
Give her to me. I'll look after her. Poor baby.
Judy. The bat.
Yes, the bat. He caught her at the head of the stairs. We saw him rushing down the stairs as we came out of the room. I hurled that after him. I hit him, I believe. I'm going to cover this place from attic to basement, you said. Well, what were you covering when that poor child was murdered? Where were you?
I saw a man outside in the grounds. I went out there and hunted him. I heard him in among the trees, and so I followed the sound of him as far as the brook down near the back road. And then I lost it. I'd rather give my own life than have this happen to Judy. But I told you to stay in your rooms and lock your doors and stay there. What was she doing at the head of those stairs?
That was my fault.
They heard a strange noise. Heavy pounding in one of the rooms on the third floor. We all heard it.
I wanted to see what it was. Judy, I wish she wouldn't let me go out by myself. I made her stay on the balcony.
What about your new butler?
Oh, well, he's in his room, I suppose.
Oh, Mrs. Patterson.
Oh, yes.
Did you know what happened here?
No, sir, but I heard the screams. I went to call Warner. We have rooms on the same floor, but he wasn't in his room. His bed hasn't been slept in.
If Mrs. Patterson heard the screams, Warner could certainly hear them.
You're quite right, sir. I heard them.
Oh, you did? And where were you?
Outside in the grounds.
Miss Holland has been murdered.
No.
Oh, so you're surprised. Shocked. Well, I've seen better performances. I remember you now. Your name's not Warner. I've got a circular in my office with your picture on it. The Chicago police not so long ago were hunting for you in connection with the robbery.
You're right again, sir. And they found me and they tried me and I proved my innocence and I was acquitted.
That could have been a lucky break. Where were you when this child was killed?
I told you before, sir. Outside.
What were you doing there?
I was following you. I saw you leaving the house, and it seemed that you were hunting someone. I thought you might need some help. Oh, yes, sir. I followed your flashlight down through the trees. Then it disappeared. And then suddenly, as I was staring out into the darkness, I was struck by something on the back of the head. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground. I realized I'd been knocked out.
I wish you had been knocked out. But then we'd have found you with your mask still on your face. You were hit here in this house with this poker as you were rushing down those stairs after that child was
Oh,
killed.
no, sir. You can't pin this on me. I'm not the bat. I've never killed. I couldn't kill. I won't take the rap for this.
Well, Doctor, we have another case for the county coroner. You see, the bat came back. Why did you come back, Doctor?
Well, I had an accident about a mile down the road. The right rear wheel of my car came off, and I plunged into the ditch. This was the nearest house, so I came here to call for help. I thought I'd find you around, Andy.
Physician, heal thyself. You must have been hit by something on the back of your head.
I told you I had an accident.
So you did, Doctor. So you did. I could be wrong. But maybe I'm not. We shall see.
All right, dear, let's start a new chapter. For days, the murders held the headlines. Lieutenant Anderson grilled us and ransacked the house from top to bottom. Warner was not placed under arrest, but his every move was watched. At night, except for a detective on guard in the house, the police and the reporters left us alone. And on one of those nights, without telling Lizzie or anyone else, I pursued a secret investigation of my own. It was in an empty room on the 3rd floor where we kept our trunks and other things.
Put him up there. It's a bright idea to kill me in my own lab and let people think that I'm the bat. But you had to kill me first. What was it to be, ambush? And clever as you are, you're not smart enough to do that. Nor were you smart enough to find the money, though you came quite close to it. But I know where it is. And when you're dead with that sign pinned on your chest, I'm going to collect it and live happily ever after. He destroyed himself. How true that will be. Well, goodbye, Bat. Here's a serum that will heal you whether you're rabid or not.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Miss Cornelia. Miss Cornelia. Now, where would she be going at this time of night? Well, land's sake. I never. Oh. Mr. Davenport. Mr. Davenport. Oh, a fine thing. The door unbolted, the chain off, and you asleep on the job. Wait till Lieutenant Anderson hears about this. Come on, wake up. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. My head hurts. My whole body's numb.
Here, take a sip of this. Try to snap out of it. I'll be back in a minute. Hurry, will you? It's Lizzie. I'm terribly worried. I can't find Miss Cornelia anywhere, and something's happened to the policeman. I don't know what. Get Warner. Bring him to the drawing room. Tell him we need him. Are you all right now?
Yeah, I'll be all right in a minute. I remember now. I took a drink of wine from that decanter there. Miss Van Gorder told me to help myself.
She wouldn't put nothing in it?
Well, somebody did. Somebody who knew I was on duty here.
Then it was somebody that got Miss Van Gorder. I can't find her anywhere. Upstairs, downstairs, or in the basement. I told the housekeeper to get Warner.
Lieutenant Anderson will want to know about this. Hello. Yeah, this is Davenport at the Oaks. We've got trouble here. Well, for one thing, I was drugged. Yeah. But I must have been knocked out because the maid tells me Miss Van Gorder's missing. Well, you better call Anderson and let him know. He's not at home. Well, where is he? Out on a case? What case? Dr. Wells. What else did they tell you about it?
Oh, hurry, will you? We've got to find Miss Cornelia.
Okay. Lieutenant Anderson is out on a case. Dr. Wells was found dead in a room next to his garage, murdered.
Dr. Wells?
There's something queer about the killing of Wells, but headquarters won't talk about it.
Lizzie, Warner isn't in his room. There's no sign of him anywhere.
And I was supposed to keep an eye on that guy.
Where's Miss Cornelia? That's what I want to know.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say that the chain and the bolt were off of the front door?
I certainly did.
Well, maybe Miss Van Gorder went outside.
Oh, she never would. We better look.
I can't breathe. There's nowhere else.
Miss Cornelia.
Oh, Miss Van
Miss
Gorder.
Cornelia. Miss Cornelia.
Miss Van Gorder.
Look. There's a light in that room on the 3rd floor. Were you up there tonight?
Well, of course I was, but I turned the lights out before I came downstairs.
Then Miss Cornelia might have turned them on again. That's why we're going to look first. Come on.
I'm here. Right here. Come to the mantelpiece.
Here we are, Miss Van Gorder. What do we do now?
Over the mantel, there are 5 panels. Strike it with your hand.
Which panel did you say, Miss Van Gorder?
Oh, I can't.
Miss Van Gorder, which panel? We couldn't hear you.
She said strike it. What difference does it make which panel? Strike them all. Look. Oh, it's all right now. It's all right, dear. Lizzie's here.
Feeling better?
Yes, much better.
We'll take you to your room.
Oh, no, you won't. I'm going to stay right here. I'm quite all right. Oh, how blessed it is to breathe without an effort. You know, no one knows how sweet the air can taste until someone shuts it off for a moment. That room is just like a box. When the mantelpiece closed, it seemed like all the air was drawn out of it. Look, there it goes again.
Let it close. I can open it from in here. There's a control panel behind this blueprint. Electric motor under the trap door here. Once the door is open, you can keep it that way. I believe that the fireplace in this other room opens the same way. And it does.
I tried to find this, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's back of this blueprint here. Well, it's quite a setup. Too bad we can't open that safe in the same way. Take an expert to crack this box or a shot of nitro.
Well, maybe that's what the bat had in mind.
Could be. Seems he's on the prowl tonight.
Miss Van Gorder, Warner has disappeared.
And Dr. Wells has been murdered.
Dr. Wells?
Lieutenant Anderson's on that case right now.
Well, does he know what happened here tonight?
They got word to him. He'll be here any minute.
What's that noise? Miss Van Gorder, the garage is on fire.
Scott, look at that.
Lizzie, put that light out in the other room. Now, where are you going?
to report the fire.
Well, you just stay right here.
Miss Van Gorder, the garage.
Well, let it burn. You watch the stair. Can't you see that fire was set to get us out of the house?
Out of the house? Were you talking about the...
Yes, I'm talking about the bat. Now that the lights are out, he'll think his trick has worked, and we've gone. He'll be here any minute.
Well, so will Lieutenant Anderson.
I hope so, but the bat will be here first. And he'll kill again if we're in his way. We've got to be as clever as he is.
You'll be safer downstairs. I'll take care of you.
Well, the others can go, but I'm going to stay right here.
All right, but get out of sight.
Let's face it, ladies, and get it over with. Others have seen my face before they died, but I'll have to deny you that pleasure. This would make a good scene for your book, Miss Van Gorder, but I'm afraid you'll never write it.
That is Warner. I could tell.
You misjudged me, Miss Ellen.
Warner!
I don't like being a murder suspect, Miss Van Gorder. I was headed for a plane, but halfway to the airport, I changed my mind and came back. I'm glad that I did.
Why, it's Lieutenant Anderson. Yes, it was Anderson. He discovered the secret of the hidden room and was waiting to get into it and open up the safe. We found the money in it, a little over $1 million in tens and twenties and hundreds. Good old Andy. With all his ill-gotten gains invested in bank stock. It's rather a clever way to hide stolen money. In the open, as it were. And so respectable. But don't try it. No matter how clever you are, you can't hide murder. Well, that's it, Dale. That's the end.
doors of a bayou ballroom. There's a place God's angel.
When it's time for a sweet treat, where do you go? Why, JoJo's Scoops and Sprinkles, of course. JoJo's is spooning up 32 flavors of ice cream and 4 flavors of Italian ice with over 50 toppings. You can order sundaes, hot fudge cake, brownie delight, and good old-fashioned banana splits with all the toppings. They bake cookies, brownies, scones, muffins, and cakes, and they serve boba tea. Of course, they have my favorite Jelly Belly jelly beans. When it's time for a meal, where do you go? Why, JoJo's Scoops and Sprinkles, of course. JoJo's serves Nathan's hot dogs with chili and all your favorite toppings. You can order hot, crispy French fries to go with that dog. They serve a chicken salad sandwich that will make you slap your granny, as well as deli sandwiches, specialty sandwiches, club sandwiches, and nachos. You can find JoJo's at 904 Betsy Pack Drive in Jasper, or you can give them a call at 423-942-8954. Did you know that skin cancer is America's most common cancer? The best treatment for skin cancer is prevention. You can help protect your skin with skin care products from Fade 2 LLC. They have SPF protection built right in. Fade 2 LLC carries color signs. It feels like nothing and protects from almost anything. They also carry Sanitas and Skin Medica brands. Fade 2 LLC has 2 locations. Inside the Country Mart at 1045 West Main Street, Suite D4 in Monteagle, Tennessee, or inside Strand Salon and Day Spa, 115 Woodland Drive in Jasper.
Hey, Grim.
Yes, Deke.
You know that tarantula problem we were having, man?
Yes.
They're back.
Oh. It's too late for Deke. But before the bugs bite at your house, call Tennessee Termite and Pest Control.
Pesky little boogers.
It's all clear. I was sworn I heard a scream.
We all did. Hey, folks, I think I found the bat, or part of him.
He seems to have lost his head.
We got pieces of him over here, too. Yeah.
Does anyone have a basket? Or a heavy bag? Really anything I could take him back to HQ.
You know, Grim, it's like my mama used to say.
What's that, Dingbat?
Bats ain't no match for no werewolves. Yeah.
Apparently not.
Come with me through the doors of a bayou ballroom. There's a place God's angel don't go. Satan's rules there, all room laws over creatures only madmen know. It's a Louisiana guard dog nightmare. Hayden don't say his name, but they say he looks just like a rabbit dog, and he walks upright like a man. Ooh, oh, defer. C'est soir. Black snake swim through the water. See Spanish moss gently sway. The moon hangs yellow like a big gold coin. In the distance you can.
No, that's not big enough. No, that's not big enough either. That's more like it. We're delighted to have you with us, and we extend a cordial welcome to you. Your continued patronage is very, very welcome.
Well, Saturday night at 8 o'clock, I know where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna pick my baby up and take her to the picture show. Everybody in the neighborhood is dressing up to be there too. And we're gonna have a ball just like we always do. Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture you see? When you're hugging with your baby, last row in the balcony. Well, there's Technicolor and the cinema scope, a cast out of Hollywood, and the popcorn from the candy stand makes it all seem twice as good. There's always lots of pretty girls with figures they don't try to hide, but they never can compare to the girl sitting by my side. Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture you see? When you're hugging with your baby, last row in the balcony. Who cares what picture you see? When you're hugging with your baby, let's roll in a balcony. Oh, Saturday night at the movies, who cares what picture you see? When you're hugging with your baby, let's roll in the balcony. Yeah, Saturday night at the movies.
Would you like to rent this house, the scene of 7 grisly murders, for your next party or gathering? Mr. Watson Pritchard is hoping that you might. This spacious 25-room mansion comes furnished with a fully stocked wine cellar for your entertainment needs. As well as a complete music room. And a swimming pool should you want to take a short dip. The house also boasts wall-to-wall creeps and hot and cold running chills in every room.
Feeling run down? sluggish? Need a boost? Then you should try Dr. Warren's all-new Tingler tablets. Dr. Warren's Tingler tablets restore vigor and vitality, as well as inhibit mood and restore a sense of well-being. Although safe, people who have taken Tingler tablets may suffer from these common side effects: blurred vision, tilting and rocking sensations, claustrophobia, shortness of breath, sudden terror, and psychosis. Tingler tablets are sold exclusively through this special offer. Why don't you get a tingle today?
Commit murder. Poison your husband? Frighten your wife to death? Then perhaps you need the services of Watson Pritchard, attorney at law, the only attorney that specializes in murder. No case is too bloody, no murder too grisly. He will even do his best to help you avoid the electric chair. If he can help you, then contact Watson Pritchard at 555-5455. That's 555-KILL.
Riding along on a carousel, trying to catch up to you. Riding along on a carousel, will I catch up to you? Horses chasing, 'cause they're racing, Sony ain't so far. On the carousel, on the carousel, nearer, nearer by a train, you horses, still so far away. People fighting for their places, just get in the way. Soon you'll leave and then I'll do ducks out of the water got the highest score. Now's my chance and I must take it, a case of do or die. On the carousel, on the carousel, round and 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 round with you. Up, down, too. Riding along on the carousel, gonna catch up to. Riding along on the carousel, gonna catch up to. Now we take our ride together, no more chasing her. On the carousel, on the carousel, on the carousel, on the carousel.
You want the ballet producer.
Catherine blocks the
It was hard to imagine why Jenny thought the magician in the circus attractive. He had large, bulging eyes, a high-domed forehead, and a thin slit of a mouth which twitched slightly all the time. But, dressed in his top hat and wearing a red silk lined cape, he was everything a poor romantic little farm girl could ask for, especially a little farm girl whose life was one dreary day of drudgery after another. Perhaps it was the strange, hypnotic feeling she had when he said, "Jenny, eh? What a pretty name. What a pretty girl. And you say you would like a job as my assistant in the circus? Come in, Jenny." She stepped into his wagon and looked about, and was so entranced by what she saw that she was only dimly aware of the door swinging shut and the lock clicking behind her. The room was filled with strange things. A bat bobbing in a large jar of alcohol. Pictures of strange creatures with 5 legs and 6 eyes. On the walls, strangely colored charts of the sun and the stars. The windows draped with a thick purple gauze. A mummified cat baring its teeth. And huddled on an old bent chair in one corner was a young girl of about her own age. "I was just talking to Esmeralda here," said the magician. "She's been a bad girl, haven't you, my pet?" "I won't stay here any longer," said the girl in a tearful voice. "That's one," said the magician, his mouth twitching a bit more than usual. "I won't be your assistant any longer," said Esmeralda. "That's 2," twitched the magician as he took a step toward the girl. Jenny whispered, "What are you going to do?" The magician turned his large eyes on her and said, "I'll be with you in a moment, my dear." Esmeralda ran to the door, but it was locked. "Let me go!" she screamed. The magician waved a long, bony finger at the girl and said, "That's 3!" With that, there was a blinding flash. Jenny looked, and there, where a moment before stood a pretty young girl, was a squeaking white mouse. The magician pounced on the mouse and chuckled. He picked it up and walked to a small closet. He opened the door and took out a cage that was filled with white mice. He dropped Esmeralda in the cage and put it away. He turned and moved toward Jenny. "And now, my dear, what was it you were saying?" he said. Jenny ran to the door and started to hammer at it with her fists. She turned and said, "You terrible, horrible man doing such an awful thing. I wouldn't be your assistant if you were the last magician on earth." The magician shook his finger at her, smiled, and said quietly, "That's 1."
We're about to go beyond the gay, grinning face of the circus into the very private world of the flying Petruccios fast. One night, about 5 years ago, on the high trapeze. Something happened. It was a performance for which no tickets were ever sold. But one man saw it.
All right. That's okay. Now, let me see your wrists, Mario.
I can do it myself. You let her see them. Why don't you stop treating me like I was 6 years old? Please, stop worrying.
Hey, it's Papa I worry about, you know? Those wrists, they gotta catch him. Oh.
His wrists are okay. The rest of him, not so okay. Lay off.
Oh, come on. You two fighting again? It's finita.
If Papa would just mind his own business. I give him a father's advice. He doesn't listen. That's his funeral. Carlotta. That fancy wife is. I'm happy you didn't forget we got a show to do today.
Paul, you see Carlotta anywhere?
Yeah, right outside. She's yakking with that red-headed fellow. You know, the guy who takes care of the animal.
Hey, Carlotta! Come, we've got to get ready.
So, I'm ready.
In old country, women don't talk to every bum that passes in town. Old country, old country, old country. Take a look at the map. This is the USA. So, in the USA, they got no regard for honor, eh? No respect for family name.
Family name.
But that don't mean nothing, eh? Please, eat your chocolates.
Amazing Petruccios are at it again.
What were you doing out there?
Check with the FBI.
Carlotta.
How many times do I have to tell you I don't hand out timetables?
No scherzare.
Could be I married the wrong Petruccio.
Sì, guarda che ti lascio cadere, eh?
Svergognata! Svergognata!
She doesn't mean anything. She just got a crazy sense of humor. You know?
Nice crowd out front. No one sitting on their hands.
I'm not gonna stand for this no more. No more making eyes to every man that passes. No more telling of your own brother.
Papa, she was kidding.
Peace! Everybody's laughing behind our backs. Everybody's saying, poor Mario. She's gonna be a good wife, or out she goes.
Don't tell me out she goes. She's my wife.
You do like I tell you.
But don't count on it.
I hope the blood is dry by the time I have to catch you.
Mario! Brutto villano, vergognati!
Papa, he does not mean that.
No, he doesn't mean it. He lost his temper, that's all. Like you, Gino. Come on, vieni, preparati. Come on, don't think about it. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, I must ask for complete silence as the Flying Petruccios attempt their death-defying feat, which has made them the toast of 7 continents. You will notice they are removing the safety net from the center ring. And now may I call your attention to the platform 80 feet above, where Signor Gino Petruccio is about ready for his plunge into space. Across the ring, his son, Mario, will attempt to catch him. Again, I ask for silence. They are about ready, so I must implore every one of you to remain absolutely silent.
Papa, Mario didn't mean that. How is he?
Well, he's going to live.
Oh, cielo, not in dear.
Niente, grazie.
Oh, thank you, Dante.
Not yet.
Thank you.
Not yet. Don't thank me yet. He's paralyzed.
Come.
Every nerve, every muscle in his body. He can't talk. He can't turn his head.
Oh. How long he will be like that?
I don't know.
Mad like Pop. Strong like a boy of 20.
He's awake now. You can see him for a few moments.
Oh, mio Dio, come faremo? Ma perché questa disgrazia? Oh, Vergine Santa, dammi tu una forza. All right. We go, eh? We go see Papa. Mario, you are the oldest son. You go in first, eh? Come on.
Mama,
Come on.
Mama, he thinks I dropped him.
Papa don't think nothing. You go in first. Avanti.
But Mama...
Go in. Perché fa così?
Where you been?
Walking.
That was sure a dumb thing to do, running off like that.
I couldn't help it. How does he look?
Well, if you ask me, it would have been better if he'd have died.
Don't talk like that.
I saw him. You didn't. He's like a mummy or something.
Shut up.
I tell you, it gives you the creeps just looking at him.
I said shut up.
Look, Buster, it's been a pretty tough night for all of us. But just don't get smart with me because I won't put up with it. You're not that big a bargain. Remember that.
Carlotta, I'm sorry. I couldn't go in to look at him. I knew what I would see in his eyes. Carlotta, I didn't drop him.
Well, who said you did?
His eyes would say I did. Pop. Pop.
I heard you were here, Mario. Welcome home.
I was just picking up a few things. I asked Carlotta, but she was busy.
I went to visit your dad the other day. Did your ma tell you? You know, no one ever accused C.C. Higgins of being a betting man. But I've got a $20 bill that says Signor Gino Petruzio is going to be back up on that trapeze within a year.
Every time I call the hospital, it's always no change.
Oh, don't give me that no change. I saw that old Latin sparkle in his eyes. What's the hurry?
Got lots of things to take care of.
Oh, come on, Mario. Give me a break. I'm not trying to push you, but when you're coming back to work?
Sorry, Mr. Higgins. No more of that for me.
It's been 3 weeks. Every Thursday there's been a paycheck, just like you were still bringing in the customers.
Mr. Higgins, I appreciate...
How long can that go on? Fair's fair, boy. Now, a week from Wednesday, we're moving on to Chicago. I want you and Paul and Carlotta to be with us.
I wouldn't go back on the trapeze if you gave me the whole circus and let me wear a parachute.
Do you know what those doctor's bills are going to be like?
Don't worry. They'll be paid.
Walk out on me and I won't pay them.
Mr. Petruccio? Sit down, sit down. You didn't answer half the questions, Mr. Petruccio.
They're stupid questions. They made me nervous.
These job classification tests are very important. They're an attempt to approach employment on a scientific basis.
Scientific? A sees an airplane flying overhead in the northerly direction. What are you going to get me here? A job watching airplanes?
The idea is to measure intelligence.
You advertise, you get people jobs if they pay. Okay, I got money to pay. I don't want a bunch of stupid tests. I want a job.
Have you done any other kind of work? I mean, besides the circus?
I told you. I've been working on a trapeze since I was 11 years old.
You haven't even answered the questions about education.
Once my mama, she paid a bookkeeper with the circus to teach my brother and me how to read and write.
Frankly, I don't know what to suggest. I mean, it's almost impossible without previous experience of some sort. There might be work as a laborer.
Laborer?
The pay is very good, sometimes as high as $3 an hour.
Hey, mister, I made $400 a week last year. I gotta pay you to get me a job for $3 an hour?
Perhaps you should go back.
Hey, I didn't come here for no tests. And I don't come here for no advice. Carlotta? Carlotta! I thought maybe you... I don't know what I thought. I just feel rot.
Would you send up a bellboy, please?
I almost visited Papa today. He sure came close. Look what I bought him. Italian cigars. Boy, they're like sticks of dynamite. Does he love them?
And how's he supposed to smoke them?
It's just the idea of the thing. Like a peace offering. Like I was thinking about him.
Sit me up.
I bought the cigars. And I went down to 6th Street to catch the bus that goes to the hospital. And I would tell the nurse who I was. I'm Mario Petruccio, the oldest son. And I've come to spend an hour with my father. And I would walk right down the hall, no thinking about anything. Right into room 612, and I would pull up a chair. And I'd say, hey, Papa. Papa, I bought you some of these lousy cigars so you can stick up the whole place. That's not what I would say. I would drop to my knees and I would say, Papa. Say you know I didn't let you fall. Say you know so I can live. I couldn't face it.
Come on in. Right there.
Where are we going?
I'm going.
But you can't.
Watch me.
You can't.
Listen, Buster. It wasn't exactly a bed of roses, even when you were one of the magnificent Petruccios. Go home to Mama, Mario. She'll make you a thick minestrone soup, and everything will be just fine.
Papa was right about you. Papa said you were no good.
He was right.
Papa was right. He's no good.
The man at the hotel said you'd probably be here.
Hey, Pete, another.
Mama sent me.
Tell her I'm okay.
She didn't send me to see if you are okay. We need some more money.
Here. Tell her to buy herself 10 pounds fancy chocolates, compliments of her oldest son.
That's all you have?
That's it. That's the whole bankroll.
So what are we supposed to do?
I sent you $100 last week.
That was 2 weeks ago.
What do you want, blood? I tried to get a job.
Me too, I tried. And the mailman still keeps coming around, still with around-the-clock nurses. You should see the bill we got from the specialist who flew out here last month.
Done him a lot of good, huh?
He's alive.
Hey, Paul. What do you want me to do?
Ask me something hard. Call Mr. Rigg in Chicago and tell we are coming back.
No.
All right. You tell me how we get the money.
I get a pain in my stomach just thinking about the trapeze. Besides, what are you talking about? Look at me. I'm out of condition. I'm stale.
The exercise trapeze is still on a practice shelf.
It would take me months to get back timing.
Mr. Higgins said we can use it any time we want it.
I can't do it.
You own it to Pa.
I went to Pa. I owe Papa one thing. I only owe Papa one thing. Okay, Papa. Now it's your turn to drop a beat. Papa!
He caught me. Papa, he caught me. What are you talking about? Come on down. You are drunk.
I tell you, he caught me. Look. Look at this, the catch bar. For the love of God. He's dead. Isn't he?
Mr. Petruccio? He's certainly not dead. They'll have him down from the examining room any minute now.
Thank God.
You know, it was the strangest thing. I couldn't believe my eyes. He was sound asleep, and then he sort of mumbled something, and then he reached out his arms like that. Oh, but how could that be? His arms are paralyzed. Well, I called the doctors right away, and they took him right up to the neurosurgical room. Excuse me.
Must have been your imagination. He can't even move his little finger.
Per amore di Dio. Papa.
Papa, Papa.
Explain it? What we can explain is like a grain of sand in the Sahara of the unexplainable. But we do have a talent for fastening labels onto everything we don't understand. But does that lull us into thinking that by giving something a name, we rob it of its mystery? All right. The word to describe what happened to Gino Petruccio is bilocation. The definition? Allowing the body image to show itself and even act at great spatial distances. Now, does that make everything crystal clear? I thought not.
Mr. Pop. Eat.
This is a story told backstage in many an English music hall and London cabaret when the performers are sitting around waiting to go on, or when they finish their evening show. Nobody ever knew very much about Eric Hickson, though many of the turns had played on bills with him. Mostly small-time acts, for it was only at the end of a long, difficult trail that Hickson reached the fashionable West End. It was the night after Hickson's opening at the Kit Kat Club. The act which preceded his was just finishing. But instead of taking his position in the wings, Hickson was still sitting in his dressing room. On his knee was his partner, Toby, a small wooden ventriloquist dummy with a painted face.
I say, Hickson, what's holding you up? You're on in a minute.
Are we?
Of course you are. We've got a splendid house out there, and I want to introduce you.
Wait, Bigelow.
Well?
We can't go on.
What?
We can't. It's quite impossible.
What nonsense is this? You hear the dances are going on.
It's
You follow
Toby,
them.
Bigelow. Toby. He refuses to talk.
Toby, your dummy?
Yes, I can't get a word out of him.
Hickson, what is this? A rib?
Certainly not.
Well, you're a ventriloquist, aren't you? At least you were last night.
Let the customers talk and hold hands.
Huh?
The stage is just as empty when we're on it.
Toby.
Hickson, what the devil are you up to?
Go on, Bigelow. Get out there and tell them we're not appearing.
So your dummy won't talk, won't he?
It's the very first time he's spoken all evening, I swear it.
Who'd want to say anything ever again after those reviews we got on our opening last night? He knows he's beyond his depth here, Bigelow. He's frightened.
Stop this gagging. Of all nights when you should want to be particularly good, with Mel Baxter in the house.
Mel Baxter, the American ventriloquist?
Yes, the star of the American Wireless.
And he married that gorgeous blonde in his last picture.
Yes, she's with him at the table out there. What kind of nonsense am I talking to this dummy?
Dummy yourself. Go on, big mouth. Get out there and introduce us. I want to see Mel Baxter.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, before I present to you our next feature turn, I'd like to call on a distinguished artist who's here tonight. You've all heard him on the American wireless and seen him in the American cinema. Mel Baxter! Stand up, Mel! Stand up and enjoy that well-known Kit-Kat hospitality.
Ah, you very, very nice people. Thank you. Thank you. Always nice to visit London.
And isn't that charming lady with you, Mrs. Baxter?
That's right. Stand up and take a bow, baby.
Hello, everybody.
Thank you, Mrs. Baxter. Oh, Mel, did you bring your little pal, Muggsy Martin, along on this trip?
No, I didn't. The little toothpick gets seasick.
Oh, what a pity.
Yeah, it is. He says every time he sees me, he gets seasick. Well, that gag's aged in the wood, but so's Muggsy.
Well, I'm sure Mrs. Baxter is a much pleasanter burden on your knee, Mel. Thanks ever so much, and have fun. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring on an act that should make our American visitor feel lonesome for the missing Muggsy Martin. Our own British ventriloquist, Eric Hickson, and his talking timber, Toby!
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Hey, Hickson, go easy on that good morning stuff.
Why, Toby?
That man over there looks like the truant officer.
Oh, that shouldn't trouble you, Toby. You've been a very good boy, haven't you?
Oh, yes, but I'm not in school.
Do you mean to say you've left school?
Oh, yes, appendicitis, you know.
You left school because you have appendicitis?
Don't have it. Can't spell it.
You know, Toby, I saw a very strange sight the other day.
Oh, dear. Must we go on?
Toby, I said I saw a very strange sight the other day.
All right, I'll go along with the gag. Talk about Muggsy Martin's jokes being aged in the wood.
Toby.
Let's get on with it. You saw a very strange sight the other day. What was it?
12 men standing under one umbrella, and not one of them got wet.
And why not?
It wasn't raining.
Did you hear that laugh, Hickson? They're forcing themselves to laugh. Do you blame them, Mr. Baxter?
Toby, leave Mr. Baxter out of this.
Leave me alone, Hickson. What about it, Mr. Baxter? Don't you feel sorry for me having to play along with Hickson's old jokes?
Well, now, Toby, I don't know. I have great respect for old jokes. Old jokes are not to be laughed at. In fact, one of my favorite jokes is the old one about the man whose name was Joe Hitler, and he wanted to change his name. So the judge asked him what he wanted to change it to, and he said George Hitler, because he was tired of people saying to him, "Hello, Joe, what do you know?"
Oh, dear me. Is that strange sound laughter, Hickson?
Yes. Thank you very much for your valuable contribution, Mr. Baxter.
Oh, not at all, Mr. Hickson. I was just standing here with 11 other guys waiting for you to borrow another umbrella.
I suppose all your gags are original, Mr. Baxter.
But of course, it's a gift.
And I've no doubt that you hang up your stockings for them every Christmas.
Sure, and I always get sock gags.
There, Hickson. You'll see what happens when you try to top a real comedian, and Mr. Baxter will go right on topping you for the rest of the night. Give up and get off, Hickson. Give up and get off.
Anyone in there?
Who is it?
No, Baxter, Hickson.
Mr. Baxter? Well?
How do you do? Mind if we come in for a minute?
All right. If you like.
This is my wife, honey, Mr. Hickson.
Mrs. Baxter.
Hello, Mr. Hickson.
Won't you sit down? Just throw that dressing gown on the floor. There.
Oh, thanks.
Well, so this is your boy, huh? Nice carving job.
I'm very handsome. Don't you think so, Mrs. Baxter?
You're a dream man, Toby.
Who made him for you?
Don't put your hands on him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Haven't you done enough damage tonight?
Oh, now look, Hickson, you asked for it out there.
I asked for nothing. It was Toby got me into that.
Toby? Oh, now, Toby, aren't you ashamed?
I asked you not to touch him.
Mr. Hickson, you don't think Mel would steal him, do you?
I can take no chances.
Well, you sure take him seriously, don't you? Well, relax. I do all right with Muggsy, my own dummy.
So I've heard.
Yes.
And you sure surprised me with that little act out front.
Your own part in it surprised me.
My part? Well, you wanted some kind of comeback, didn't you?
You asked for it, Mr.
You needn't
Hickson.
explain anything.
You see, Mr. Baxter, Hickson's attitude requires a certain amount of sympathy. He's quite aware he's not our equal.
Oh, now look,
Keep quiet,
Hickson.
Toby. Mr. Baxter, just why did you come to my dressing room?
Well, professional courtesy.
If you've come here to make some sort of a bargain to buy Toby, it's no use. You can never have him.
Now, wait, Hickson.
Yes, wait, Hickson.
I won't have it, Toby. Never, never.
Whatever the Baxters have to say to me is my affair. Why don't you pretend you're a gentleman and make a graceful exit?
Oh, really, Toby, if you're trying to make me look ridiculous...
I'm succeeding. Yes, I know. Now go on over behind the screen and get your makeup off.
Very well, but I warn you.
Beat it! Pay no attention to him, Mrs. Baxter. I don't.
I don't understand.
This fellow's amazing.
No, not at all. He's stupid, really. Constantly interfering in my affairs. Mrs. Baxter, now that we're alone, may I tell you something? Something I'm sure you've heard before.
Well, what is it, Toby?
You're very beautiful. I'm very fond of you, Mrs. Baxter. And whatever Hickson thinks, you're really a very nice woman.
Oh, now look here.
Mel, I don't like this.
Hickson.
Yes?
Come out here.
Well, what is it?
Just how far do you want to carry a gag?
A gag?
Either you apologize to my wife...
Apologize for what? Really, Mr. Baxter, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mel, let's leave.
You're not going to leave me, are you, Mrs. Baxter? Please don't.
Oh, you're a very funny guy, Hickson.
Take me with you, Mr. Baxter. I just want to be near her. If you're afraid I'll make love to her, you needn't worry. I will.
Okay, Hickson, you asked for it.
No, Mel, don't hit him. Don't hit him. Oh, Mel. Mel, why did you do it?
Here now. Well, what's going on?
I don't know what's eating this guy. A gag's a gag, but he doesn't know when to stop.
He looks a bit done in.
Well, he had it coming to him. Glad he didn't break the dummy when he fell.
Yes, that would have been a shame. He's such a cute little fella.
Oh, and you do care what happens to me. I love you, Mrs. Baxter. I love you.
Feeling all right again, old chap?
Yes, quite. Thank you, Bigelow.
Oh, good night, then.
No, it's not good night. This is goodbye.
What's that?
Yes, the manager sacked us, Toby and me.
Oh, well, now that's a pity.
Go on, say it. You're quite sure we had it coming to us?
Well, you did go too far with the Baxters.
I didn't do it. I had nothing to do with what Toby said.
Oh,
It was
say.
Baxter. It was Baxter who put those words into Toby's mouth. He's trying to steal him from me.
Oh, now see here,
It
don't...
took us 15 years to make the Kit Kat. And we had only 2 nights here. You just think what Toby and I have done together. We've fought our way to the very top. After years of cheap and dirty music halls. Starving. Out at the elbow. Oh, you know what it's like, Bigelow. Always trying to perfect the act. Toby's a partner anyone would want. And Baxter's no exception.
All right, old boy. Then you better take good care of Toby.
No, never fear. Oh, never fear. I shall. He's locked in my dressing room right now, and tonight and every other night we are going to sleep behind locked doors until Mel Baxter leaves London.
Who's there?
Baxter, I want to talk to you.
Mel, be careful. It's Hickson. And the door isn't locked.
Where is Toby?
Get out, Hickson.
I've come for Toby. Where is he? You've stolen Toby from me, and I've come to take him back.
I haven't seen your dummy since we were in your dressing room tonight. You
lie! You came and stole him from me whilst I was asleep.
Sure. I never travel without my burglar tools. Now listen, Hickson, I only knocked you down before, but this time I'm going to finish a job.
Mel!
I'll handle this my way, baby.
No, Mel, look. On the floor.
What?
On the floor at the foot of my bed.
Toby! What? Oh, Claudia, how did...
Toby, there you are. I found you. Oh, my poor little Toby. He kidnapped you.
Now, look, Hickson, I haven't the slightest idea how your dummy got here.
Toby,
Mel,
speak
look
to
how
me.
he's shaking that awful thing.
Wake up, Toby.
He's trying to wake it up.
Oh, come now. You're not deceiving me. You know I'm here.
Go away and leave me alone. I'm through with you, Hickson.
I can't stand it, Mel.
Easy, baby. Now, look here, Hickson. Maybe you're ill or mad or something.
Ill? You took Toby away from me, and you say I'm ill?
I didn't take him. You brought him here. You must have. Maybe while you were walking in your sleep.
Mel, he's got a gun.
He won't shoot.
Come with me, Toby. We're going home again.
No, Hickson, I won't go with you. I'm going to stay here forever.
What? This is some trick. Baxter, you've influenced him against me. You're putting words into his mouth.
Oh, look, Hickson, will you relax? I tell you I had nothing to do with this. I couldn't have.
Nothing to do with it? You're a devil, Baxter. You tried to steal Toby away from me, and now you're trying to drive me mad!
Hickson, will you listen to reason?
No! No, I won't listen to reason. I won't. Oh, no. Beastly man. Toby,
Pick up this gun before I hurt somebody with it, baby.
You don't.
I've got it, Mel.
Say it's not
Now,
true.
stay where you are, Hickson.
What? Oh, no. Oh, no, I'll do nothing of the sort. You're insane.
Hickson, you're the one who's sick. I'm trying to help you.
Help me! You're trying to take Toby away from me.
Look, will you let me get a doctor for
No! You fool! You'll never get Toby away from me. I'll take him where you'll never see him again. Never!
Hickson! Claudia, that man's desperately ill. We've got to get a doctor. I suppose we should have called the cops, Doctor, but, well, Hickson's in the profession, and if he's sick, we'd rather have a doctor look after him.
I appreciate your sentiments, Mr. Baxter.
What's made him act this way? What's wrong with him?
Well, I can't give an opinion without seeing him, without talking with him. But perhaps your husband may have some idea.
Me?
You're a ventriloquist, Mr. Baxter, but a more successful one than Hickson. And, two, you're happily married. Less introspective, perhaps. Isn't it quite possible that Hickson, in his loneliness, his struggles for success, may have become so accustomed to thinking as two people that the personalities have actually become divided?
Why, I don't know. Yeah, I can see how that might happen.
You mean he thinks he's two people?
No, Mrs. Baxter, he doesn't think he's two people. It's possible he doesn't know these personalities have become divided. That Toby now might be said to live within Hickson without Hickson's knowing, and...
Then what's going to happen to him?
Well, it's something he'll have to fight out within himself. If we can keep the dummy away from him, he may recover.
Oh, but Doctor, he took it with him.
And we've no time to lose. Where does he live? Have you any idea?
No, but I can find out.
Well, then we'd better go at once. He must be separated from that dummy.
Oh, here you are, Hickson, right back where you started.
Be quiet, you fool. Be quiet.
You can't keep me quiet. You never could. Where would you have been if I'd kept quiet?
How can you be so ungrateful? I made you what you are.
You made me. Until I came along, you were very small time, Hickson. Very small time.
You've forgotten that you're nothing but a lifeless, useless stick of wood without me.
A lifeless, useless stick of wood, am I? It was I she liked, not you. It was I Mrs. Baxter spoke kindly to. It was I she smiled at, not you.
But you wouldn't even be here without me.
A lifeless, useless stick of wood. You couldn't even get up the nerve to kill Baxter tonight.
Kill him? Yeah. Yes, that's it. You wanted me to kill him.
Why didn't you kill him? Then she could have belonged to me. I could be with her forever.
Oh, you fool. You know that's impossible.
You're just saying that. You're jealous. Jealous. Jealous.
Toby, please. Don't say these things.
It's the truth. You're a weakling, a coward.
Toby, I beg you.
You mean nothing to me anymore, Hickson. You're weak.
No, I'm not. You monster. Oh, more than the mind can bear. I can't stand it. I've got to get rid of you. I'll kill you. I'll destroy you.
Hickson, take your hands off me. I'm through with you. Take your hands off me.
No, I'll kill you. You vulgar little beast.
Hickson, stop.
Die. You
monster! Raise your head! Filthy beast! Come on! Down!
No. Now, talk back to me. You little monster. You died, you hear? Now tell me I'm weak.
You can't kill me, Hicks. No matter how you try, you can't kill me. You're still a failure.
I'll show you who's a failure! Toby. Toby. What have I done? Toby. Toby, I never meant to. Answer me. Answer me, Toby.
Hickson! Hickson, are you in there?
Don't wait, Mel. Try the door. Oh, there we are.
I'll go first. Okay. There he is, Doctor.
Mel, we're too late.
Now, easy now. Perhaps he's only fainted.
Doctor, look, the dummy.
Smashed to bits.
I can't believe it's real.
Easy, honey, take it easy. Hickson's breathing. He's just out for a minute.
Oh, Mel. What'll happen when he comes to? And he realizes what he's done to Toby.
Oh, how are you, Hickson? Steady now. You're coming around all right.
You see, honey, he's all right. He's opening his eyes.
No, don't try to sit up, Hickson. No. Just lie back and be still for a moment.
He's looking for Toby.
Yeah, when he sees him.
No, don't try to sit up, Hickson. Your dummy's a bit cracked up, but I guess he can be fixed.
Fixed, eh? He said he'd kill me. But I told him he couldn't.
Mel.
Doctor, it's Hickson speaking in Toby's voice.
He said he'd kill me. As if he could, Mr. Baxter.
Doctor, what about Hickson? Hickson himself.
I've never seen anything like this. Oh, Hickson, speak up, man. Quick, Baxter, put that dummy together again.
Well, he's pretty badly smashed.
I don't care. Hold him together if you have to.
I'll do what I can.
What good will it do, Doctor?
It's our one chance to help this man.
See, Hickson? Here's Toby. You see, he's all right. Here he is.
Hickson won't appreciate what you're doing, Mr. Baxter. Now you're giving me...
Back to him. He thought you were trying to steal me away from him.
Mr. Hickson.
Huh? Oh. Yeah, it's you, Mrs. Baxter. Toby, what's happened to you?
Oh, you and Toby both had a little accident, Mr. Hickson.
Baxter!
Mr. Baxter had nothing to do with it. He and Mrs. Baxter are your friends. They were worried about you. They called me. I'm a doctor.
Oh, I see. I'm very grateful. Thank you. Thank you awfully.
Well, we told the doctor how Toby'd been acting up this evening.
Oh, yes. Well, now I remember. Yes, you were a very bad boy, Toby. You said so many things that I didn't put into your mouth. You can't go on like this, you know. If the act's to succeed, you ruined us tonight, Toby. It's going to be a long, hard fight to get back.
I'm not really angry with you, Hickson.
I'm glad. We are dependent on each other, Toby. You know that. Promise me you'll behave from now on. Promise you won't say anything I don't put into your mouth.
I promise. But still, I can have my own ideas.
Tonight's voyage of escape into the realms that lie between the credible and the incredible has ended. But we hasten to invite you to voyage with us at the same time next week
What would you say, ladies and gentlemen, if I were to tell you that there is a dimension where time is neither dead nor unborn? A psychic plane where each moment lives for the eternal now. Would you scoff if I were to assure you that the past and the future can be revealed to us merely by attuning our minds to the
In the car by the stage door.
I see some skeptical smiles already. Well, my friends, no need to be self-conscious about your doubts. Man has always rejected that which he cannot fully comprehend. But I challenge you to refute the predictions of Nostradamus, or to deny that down through the ages, every major event has been foretold by someone. A pagan priest, an oracle, an astrologer, or just some simple man whose mind is responsive to the vibrations of the cosmos. Coincidence, you say? I think not, my friends. And I propose tonight, ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, to reveal to you some of the remarkable occult powers which lie at the very threshold of man's knowledge.
Occult powers? Who's he kidding? Come on, we're Mr. Preliminaries.
No, I want my question answered.
A young woman in the audience wishes to know if her engagement ring is genuine. Well, let me put it this way, madam. Your diamond is as genuine as your fiancé's offer of marriage.
He ain't got to make a four-flusher out of me. Hey, you up there. I paid 200 quid for that ring she's wearing, and I can prove it, see?
200 pounds, sir. Well, in that case, your marriage to the young lady should be 200 times prospered. That is, if your arithmetic is correct.
All right, smart Alec. If you're so clever, look into your crystal ball and tell us who's going to win the main event at the Boxing Palace tonight.
The main event at the Boxing Palace tonight. Ah, sir, there you have me. You see, it is quite obvious that neither the spectators nor the fighters will exert enough mental pressure to have the slightest effect upon the psychic plane. Pray do not misunderstand me, ladies and gentlemen. I have no desire to demean the ancient and honorable profession of prize fighting, which has always been, always, death. I see death. Someone will die in that fight. Stop the fight. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop the fight.
Put on the gun.
That was a nice little scene you just played. What are you trying to do? Get us fired?
Leave him alone.
I'll let him alone. I'll pull you right out of his tired old act.
Oh, stop it. Can't you see he's ill? Go away.
You show some respect for your father, young lady.
Noreen, I frightened you. I'm sorry.
You had a nasty fall, Clay. Just lie still.
What? No. I must get to that boxing arena.
You're going to your dressing room to lie down.
Let me alone.
Give me a hand, boys.
I'm all right, I said. No, let me alone. I've got to go. I'm all right, I tell you.
Come on, you've created enough disturbance.
Let me alone.
for
I'm
one
all
night.
right.
Hold him, Charles.
Yeah,
I've got a week of the head.
But don't be a fool. I saw a man being killed. I saw it happen.
Yeah, we all saw it. Terrible, wasn't it?
Burton, I'm not out of my head. That boxer, his name is Tommy Timms, will die in the ring unless I stop that fight.
Come on, we'll talk it over in your dressing room. Phone for a doctor.
You don't believe me?
Well, sure I believe you. And I'm going right over to the arena and tell Tommy's manager.
You know his manager?
He ought to. He's lost enough money back in Gunnar Gogan's tired fighters.
Burton, go to him and say to him that... No, I'll go.
No. We'll both go after you've had a little rest.
No, now. That boy will die in the ring unless I stop that fight.
Dad, I think Clay really means it.
All right. All right. I'll go over and tell Tommy's manager.
Don't fail me, Burton.
Look, go to your dressing room and lie down and leave everything to me, right? Right. The old phony's got himself believing his own act.
Loyalty. That's what I like about you, Burton. Loyalty.
It never fails. Every time I leave the theater, something happens. I tried to tell him that Ern was dangerous, but he wouldn't listen. Now I'm going to have trouble with the fire inspector. All right, how is he, Noreen?
The doctor says it isn't serious.
That's all I need. Business is terrible. Now my star attraction is laid up.
Gus, I said he'd be all right.
I'm going to see for myself.
Later. You've got something to do, remember?
You think we should do that now?
What's more important than ever? He's shaken, he's frightened. He needs to know how we really feel about him.
Give me 20 minutes, huh? Everything should be ready in the kitchen. If it isn't, I'll fire the whole staff. Maybe I should already. They're leading me into bankruptcy.
Feeling better?
Did your father go to the boxing arena?
Yes. How do you feel?
Oh, I'm all right, I think. I made quite an exhibition of myself, I'm afraid.
The act needed a new finale.
Gus will be furious.
Gus will be Gus.
Noreen, I never made any pretense about the act. It's entertainment, nothing else. I know people are intrigued by thinking they can get a peek into the future. But deep down in their hearts, they know it's just a harmless sham. Just like this beard that I wear in the act.
Don't talk about it now, Clay.
Have to talk about it. I don't know what happened out there tonight. Was it self-hypnosis or something else, something beyond my control? I don't follow boxing events. How did I know the name of that fighter?
You probably saw it on a billboard or read it in the newspapers. You forgot it until that man in the audience mentioned boxing, and then your imagination did the rest.
I wonder.
I know. You're just tired. You've often said yourself, and I quote, "A suggestion presented to a fatigued mind can sometimes have alarming results," unquote.
Do I really sound as pompous as all that?
You sound perfect, always. Now, you finish taking off your makeup, and I'm going to go repair my lipstick. I'll be back for you in a jiffy.
Where are we going?
Look into your crystal ball, Mr. Mace. It's all there. In the dimension where time is neither dead nor unborn, but where each moment lives in the eternal now.
Get out of here.
He's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. He's a jolly good fellow. Which nobody can deny.
Well, all I can say is this is one day I will never forget, and for more than one reason.
What you gonna give us for an encore, Clay?
Set fire to a stage manager, Charlie. Oh, Noreen, Have I got to cut your beautiful cake? Well, here goes. There. No, but seriously, a mere thank you is quite inadequate for what I really feel. What can I say?
I say everybody have a good time on Gaskostopoulos. Everybody have a good time. And Nori, music, please. And please, people, don't break up the place too much.
Dance, lady.
It's all right, it's all right. It's all right, your father isn't around. I made sure before I crashed the party.
You mustn't stay. He just went to the boxing arena. He'll be back any minute.
Good. Then I can have it out with him.
It won't do any good. He'll just make it impossible for me to see you.
Why? I'm not such a bad cat. I'm reasonably presentable. I may even have a future of sorts for the right girl to keep my house and have my kid.
Oh, Grant, please.
Noreen, I'm tired of having to dodge your father. I want to marry you.
And I want to say yes, but...
I know. If you ever got the courage to lead a life of your own, your father would have to find another meal ticket.
Don't ever say that again.
It's true, and you know it.
You'd better leave.
It's not fair. I can't go on like this, and I can't end it. I love you, Noreen. I have to hit out if anything stands between us.
I understand, darling. Just be patient for a little while longer.
All right. We'll settle it when I get back from Edinburgh next week, okay?
Grant, please leave.
All right, I'll go. But this is the last time I run for cover. Who's that?
Just someone who asked me to dance. You're drunk. Where did you get the money this time?
Oh, your old dad's still got a trick or two left up his sleeve.
You better not let Gus see you like this. Clay won't stop him from throwing you out this time.
He will if he wants to keep you in the head.
When you do things like this, I could...
What?
Nothing.
That's better. You just remember to keep a civil tongue in your head, my girl. You do exactly what I say, when I say. Understand?
Noreen, you're crying. What happened? Did your father say something to hurt you?
It doesn't matter. He didn't mean to.
Oh, he never means to, but he always does. Well, he's got to stop.
Oh, please, Clay, don't start anything. He's drunk.
Drunk? I wonder where he weaseled the money from this time. Well, I'm through protecting him, Noreen. Finished.
There's been enough trouble, Clay. I couldn't take any more.
Clay, you better come out front.
You go to your room, dear.
There he is, the old geezer. He's the one who said it.
He says that you predicted me boy Tommy would get killed tonight.
Are you his manager?
I was.
I'm sorry. You should have heeded my warning.
You never warned us. You never intended to. Only boy is dead, and I've come to see what kind of a man would turn a profit on a thing so terrible.
Profit? I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't try to deny it.
I do deny it.
Why, you filthy devil, do you think I wouldn't know it? It's all over the streets. Everybody knows it. And you sent your flunky out to bet money on me boy's death. Look at him. The truth's like dirt on his face.
Oh, there must be some mistake.
Liar! Guilty liar!
You think Avery's telling you the truth?
Send Burton out to warn you. We all heard him. Burton! Where is Burton?
I'll find him.
Charlie, why did you tell him?
Why not?
Don't you see? A man as distraught as he is isn't responsible for his actions. If he finds Burton...
I just hope I'm there.
How about that, eh? Yeah, some of this stuff you want.
Burton, I want to talk to you.
All right, talk then.
Alone, if you don't mind.
This lady can hear anything you've got to say, Mace.
If you please, this is private.
Sure, Ducky. I don't mind.
You stay right here with me.
Bertie, dear. You wouldn't stop a girl from powdering her nose, would you? But let go my arm like a good chap, eh?
Well, all right. Only come right back, see?
I never could resist a masterful man.
Why did you do it?
I tried to get to the gunner. I tried to warn him, like you said, but the copper on the door wouldn't let me into the fighter's locker room.
You're lying.
I'm telling you what happened.
How much did you win?
Well, nothing. You can't bet on the fights when you're broke. Well, all right, I made a few quid.
£100.
Well, all right. So what's wrong with someone trying to get a bit of good out of your hunch? They wouldn't let me see the gunner, so I did the next best thing. All right, I didn't kill the boy. If anyone's to blame, it's you. Well, all right, you think what you ruddy well like. But I'm warning you, if you tell my daughter, if you don't stop trying to undermine me, I'll
what?
You'll see, Mr. High and Mighty. Come on, let's get out of here.
Burton, don't leave. Don't go. Don't leave with that money, I warn you.
You go and hang yourself, Mace.
Burton! Charlie, stop him, I said.
Oh, Burton? Why?
Something is going to happen.
Ah, he's a big boy. He can take care of himself.
We shall see.
How about a little kiss, eh?
Aren't you the forceful one, though?
Well, it can't do any harm, can it, eh?
Not it on the street, Dax. A girl's got to mind her reputation.
Reputation? Well, that's a fine one.
It's not that I grudge you a kiss, Bertie. It's just I do like a little privacy. There's a cosy hole.
Well, what are we waiting for, eh? Come on, then.
Now, Clay, really?
It's the gospel truth, I tell you. Just as the train was pulling into the station, the one with the hearing aid said, "Isn't this Wembley?" And the other one who'd been dozing said, "No, I think it's Thursday." So the first one said, "Well, so am I. Let's get off the train and have a drink."
That's awful.
The awful truth.
Clay, ever since we got here, you've been trying so hard to amuse me. Why?
Do you mean I've been talking too much? Certain sign of old age.
Or worry? It's Dad, isn't it? Did Gus notice he'd been drinking tonight? Clay? Clay, what's the matter?
Marie, you had better come quickly. Something has happened to your father.
Where is he?
Up the street.
Aren't you coming?
There's nothing I can do. I know what's happened.
Legways, please. Legways. Legways.
No, I'm sorry. I don't agree. No, I'll talk to you later. Clay! Where have you been all night? I've searched, I've phoned, I was even going to have the river dragged. Why, how was I to know that you weren't going to do something crazy, huh? After your warning to Burton and what happened in that alley? Well, I was worried, Clay. You know how I am. But you're all right now. You're going to be sensible, I'm sure.
I've been walking the streets all night, Gus, trying to understand this thing that has happened to me. To me, of all people.
There's only one answer. Now, you need a change of pace. Why not rework the act? Dream up some new stunts.
Well, I didn't find the answer, but the thought kept growing on me. Maybe I was responsible for Burton's death.
Nonsense. It was Gunnar Gogan. The police have already arrested him.
Gogan is innocent, but I wonder if I am.
Stop it, Clay. You're not playing to an audience here.
Gus, did I foresee Burton's death? Or did I will it to happen? I could have had a motive. You know, there was always friction between us because of the way he treated Noreen. Maybe I wanted him dead.
You think you're the only one who hated his guts? That's no kind of logic.
I must go to the police. Gogan is innocent.
No, that's not clever. The newspapers will get hold of the story. You'll be hounded by every crackpot who wants to peer into his future.
Burton was lured into that alley by a woman. Helen Tate. She'll reveal the name of her accomplice as soon as she's apprehended.
Sure. Now, why don't I phone the police anonymously, huh?
You?
Oh, Clay, you can trust me. After what happened to Burton, I'm not going to cross you.
I know you won't, old friend.
Taxi, lady.
A whole week without you. It's been an eternity. First, tell me about your trip. You start at the beginning and don't leave out a thing.
Well, the beginning and the end is, I got the job I went after.
Grant, that's wonderful.
I start at the Edinburgh office next week. Darling, you're coming with me. We can drive up to Scotland tomorrow night and be married in a little church I know, just near Edinburgh. We'll have 6 whole days to ourselves before I have to start earning a living for us. Well, you want to marry me, don't you?
Yes,
Well, then what's wrong? I almost thought the girl cried and got all silly and sentimental when the boy popped the question.
I don't mean to spoil it for you, Grant.
Well, then, for gosh sake, say yes and put me out of my misery. Noreen, your father's dead. And if Mace is the kind of guy he says he is, he'll be the first one to give his blessing.
I can't leave him yet.
Why not?
He's ill. It's more serious than he'll admit. He needs me.
So do I.
Grant, don't force me to make that kind of choice.
Listen, Noreen. If Mace is really sick, he shouldn't be working. He needs a rest, a forced vacation if necessary. He could break in a new partner while he's resting. Noreen, you just can't say no. Gosh, you had me scared.
Grant, I'll tell him tonight, after the show. No, that's the only way. I can't just walk out on him.
What if he says no?
He won't. Trust me. Now, I must go.
You know something?
What?
You're going to be a very shrewish wife.
Do you want to back out?
Haven't got the sense.
Come in.
15 minutes, Mr. Mace.
Thank you.
How is he?
Gus! Now he's looking through the walls.
You'd keep that kind of talk for yourself.
Look, he's been spooking up the place ever since Burton got it. Everybody's getting jumpy. You better do something, Gus.
Gus!
I'll talk to you later. How are you feeling tonight, Clay?
Oh, I'm all right, thanks.
Ah, that's fine. We got a big house tonight. A champagne and caviar crowd. You will put a little extra schmaltz into the act, won't you? Well, I don't mean you should make any predictions. Yeah, well, I must get out front.
Gus.
Yes?
Do you know a man named Harcourt?
Harcourt, no.
You will. Don't cross the stage to meet him.
Sure. I'll remember.
Yeah. Yes, he's here. I'll tell him. Yeah. Gus. Shh, Gus. Somebody in your office wants to see you. Fella named Harcourt.
Who?
Harcourt? What's wrong, Gus? Gus!
Yes, Clay.
Sure, it's a miracle you weren't killed, Gus.
It's a miracle I don't fire the whole lot of the stage crew. Who did that rigging off stage?
Don't blame the crew for what happened, Gus.
Clear out, all of you. Go on. Clear out. There are customers out in front. Charlie, put the next act on.
That's you, Clay. Oh. It figured you'd wait until the roof fell in on your head. Now will you get a new headline act?
I've already got the best one in the business.
Then tell your mentalist to stop spooking the crew.
What are you talking about?
He's been acting funny the last week. The crew don't like it.
Then fire them. Fire the lot of them. They talk like that. What do you want?
Mr. Kostopoulos? I'm Harcourt.
Harcourt?
I've been waiting in your office.
I know.
I'm from the Criminal Investigation Department, sir. Would you mind answering a few questions?
What about?
Sometime last week, we received an anonymous phone call regarding Roscoe Burton's murder. The call was traced to this theater. Do either of you have any idea who made it?
We have half a dozen telephones in this theater, Mr. Harcourt.
Yes. Well, I don't suppose it really matters. This is only a routine inquiry. We've already apprehended the killers.
Killers? You mean Gunnar Gogan had an accomplice?
Mr. Gogan has been released. Our anonymous tipster named this woman.
I remember her. She was in the club the night of Clay's anniversary party.
Helen Tate. She named an unemployed docker as her accomplice. They took about £100 from Burton's body. You sure you haven't any idea who made that call, Mr. Kostopoulos?
I said I didn't.
Of course. Well, thank you for your trouble. Goodbye.
All right, Gus. Now tell me that Mace didn't make that call.
I say he didn't. You keep your mouth shut about that. We have enough trouble already.
To reveal to you some of the remarkable occult powers that lie at the very threshold of man's knowledge. We have a lady inquiring about the whereabouts of her poodle, which has...
He's off again. Let me get the curtain.
His mind is a little blank. He'll be all right. There is a young man in the audience named Dudley. Grant Dudley. Will you please identify yourself? Mr. Dudley, will you please come forward? Mr. Dudley, I know you're out there. Mr. Dudley. Dudley. Dudley! Dudley! I know you're out there. Mr. Dudley! 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 Mr. Dudley!
Panic on your hands, Gus. Let me get the curtain. Let me get him off.
Dudley!
All right, get him off.
Dudley! 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 Let go of me! Let go of me! I've got to warn that boy! Gus, Laurie, you help me! Dudley must not make that trip! It will end in death!
I got your message. How is Mace this morning?
Not so good. Gus hired a new headline act. Tonight is our last performance.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. No, I'm not sorry. That was a cheap trick he pulled last night. I read the ending in the morning papers.
Grant, that wasn't a trick.
Oh, come off it, Noreen. He's no better than your father was. He'll do anything to stop you from leaving him.
Including getting sacked?
Publicity never hurt an actor.
Grant, I tell you, he saw something.
What? A flaming crash off the highway? Or maybe he saw us skidding off a cliff or tumbling off a bridge?
Stop it.
Sure, sure. Just tell me if you're still coming with me tonight.
I can't. Grant, I can't. He needs me more than ever now. He's ill.
Noreen, if you don't break away now, you never will. He'll always find a way to hold you.
That's not true. Clay could never deny me anything he thought I really wanted. Well, how did he know about you, Grant? I never mentioned your name. He knew nothing about us.
I imagine he has ways of checking on you.
That's unworthy of you, Grant.
Noreen, I got a wire from the firm this morning. They've changed my assignment. I have to report to the Rome office by the end of the week.
To Rome?
I'm driving to Dover tonight and getting the ferry boat to Calais. Will you come? Wait here. I'm Grant Dudley. Noreen says you don't know about us. I don't believe it. I want to marry her, and I want you to say it's all right.
You love each other?
Yes.
Then you must marry.
You mean she has your blessing?
My dear young man, I have no right to withhold my consent to anything Noreen wants to do.
Then tell her that prediction you made last night was, shall we say, a mistake.
I can't do that.
Oh. So that's it. You won't stop her from doing anything she wants. You'll just keep her brainwashed so that you can do her thinking. Well, I'm taking her with me tonight, Mace. Prediction or no prediction.
Then you must accept the consequence.
I'll accept anything that happens. Just don't try any more of your cheap tricks.
Dudley, I promise you I won't try to influence Noreen in any way, but in return, you must promise me something.
What?
Promise me that you'll turn back immediately if you see a twisted sign.
A twisted sign?
A signpost with the legend, Edinburgh, 50 miles.
You've got a bargain, Mr. Mace. It's all settled. He's given his permission. Well, go and ask him if you don't believe me. He asked me if we loved each other. I said yes. So he said we should get married. What could be plainer than that?
Oh, Grant, that's wonderful.
Hey, there's a law against setting fire to a public place.
Coward.
Oh, am I going to teach you a lesson? Well, come on. I've got to pack. And you've got to do whatever brides are supposed to do before they're whisked away in the night.
What about Clay's prediction?
Forget it.
And what did he say?
Nothing.
What did he say?
All right. He made me promise to turn back if we see a signpost that says Edinburgh, 50 miles. Well, don't you see it, honey? His prediction was a phony. All right. A mistake, then? He didn't know about my being transferred to the Rome office, unless you told him.
I didn't tell him.
Well, that proves it, then. Edinburgh is 300 miles to the north. We're driving south tonight. We're not going to be anywhere near Edinburgh. Come on.
Now. Tears on your wedding day? Oh, Noreen is a fine young man. I like him. He's a fighter. He certainly gave me a taste of his determination this morning.
Clay.
Now, I don't want to hear any sentimental nonsense about your not wanting to leave me. My plans for the future don't include you, you know. As a matter of fact, I'm delighted to get you off my hands.
But, Clay, what will you do?
Take a long rest. Learn about a lot of things, perhaps.
All day long, I've been torturing myself. Afraid you'd think me terribly ungrateful. Clay, I've been such a coward. I was so afraid to tell you about Grant. Afraid you'd think I loved you less.
5 minutes, Mr. Mace.
Shall we stand them on their ears, Miss Burton?
It's not right, Clay. We should have had a party for Noreen. Lots of presents and the cake. I know what you're going to say. Wedding parties are invented by caterers. All right, I admit it. All the same, it would have been decent to give her a nice send-off. What's the matter, Clay? You okay?
I'd like to borrow your car.
What for, Clay?
Can I have it or not?
Well, sure. I'll drive you anywhere you want to go.
Yes. You're meant to be there.
Huh? Where?
Get your raincoat.
Raincoat? What? There isn't a cloud in the sky.
I'll meet you out front. Hurry.
Where to?
Just keep driving. I'll tell you when to turn.
Was there ever such a night? Such a wonderful night.
What did Mace do to you before you left the theater?
Nothing. Why?
You're making noises like a lovesick female.
I am lovesick. Grant!
That was a close one. Hey, you look as though you're going to pass out.
Grant, maybe we shouldn't go on. There's still time to go back to London Airport and get a plane.
We're driving. Mace isn't going to spoil our first night together. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to snap at you. Tell you what. The first time we see a sign that says Edinburgh 50 miles, I'll turn around so fast you'll think you're in a revolving door. Okay?
Okay.
You'd better put a flare out, chum. I almost climbed over you.
I just lit one, mister. I must have gone out. I'm sorry. Mono told me to stop at the next garage and send back a tow van.
Glad to.
Since getting here. Now maybe you'll tell me why.
Stop here.
Clay, what are you going to do?
Wait in the car, Gus. Has a black sedan come this way in the past half hour?
Just a minute, sir, while I make this connection. There you are. What can I do for you, sir? Fill her up?
No. Have you seen a black sedan, a young man and a girl?
Clay, what's all this about?
Your old man, Governor? What'd she do, run away with a ruddy bloke?
Have you seen them?
There ain't been a car past here since sunset, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Listen to me, Governor. I'm a married man myself, and I know what you're going through.
Slow down.
Clay, don't you think we ought to talk this over once again? After all, Grant and Noreen have a right to a life of their own.
Stop here.
Hey, my watch has stopped. What time is it?
11:45.
11:45. You've got to step on it.
Grant, we can catch a later ferry boat.
We're catching the midnight ferry.
But you promised that truck driver you'd stop at the next garage.
We'll do our good deed and catch that boat.
You were right about the raincoat, Clay. That's it. I've had enough. Now get back in the car. I'm going to take you back. You need a doctor. Wait here. Clay!
Why did he do it? It's so senseless.
How did he find us?
I brought him.
But he thought you were heading for Edinburgh.
The petrol station.
We were going to stop there.
That's probably what he saw.
I should have listened to him. He was right. He had to die to convince me.
No. You could not have changed anything. He saw the future. And he was resigned to it. We were all fated to do what we did. Mace could not change what was going to happen. And he accepted the inevitable. I'm sure he was glad that his death was the means of saving your lives.
Late one October evening, two young men strolled down a nearly deserted midway of a traveling carnival.
What a rip-off. Not one of those sideshow freaks was real.
Well, what did you expect? This is just a carnival, not Ripley's Believe It or Not.
I don't know, I guess I just expected something more. Say, I don't remember that tent from before. Look what the sign says. Come inside and witness the world's largest collection of human skulls. No, now that I've got to see. Come on.
Steve and John step inside the dimly lit tent and are greeted by row after row of dust-covered skulls.
This place is creepy. Let's get out
My
of here.
God, these things look real.
That's because they are real, young man. Every last one of them.
But how did you get so many of them? Where did you find them all?
Oh, I picked them up here and there. You know, collecting is like anything else. You have to know what you want, and when you see it, grab it. The tall man steps close and pulls out a gleaming hatchet. For example, I've been looking for a pair just about your size and shape for some time. Yes, I think you'll do nicely.
I want your soul.
true, I'm nervous, but why do you think I'm mad? My senses are very sharp, and above all, my hearing is extremely acute. Does that make me mad? Listen how calmly I can tell you the whole story. I love the old man. He never wronged me or insulted me, nor did I desire his gold. Every night, about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it, oh, so gently. When I had an opening large enough, I put in a lantern, all closed, so that no light shone out. Then I put in my head. Oh, you would have laughed to see how cunningly I did it. I opened the lantern so that a single dim ray fell upon the vulture eye. For an hour, I didn't move a muscle. But I didn't hear him lie down. He was sitting up, listening in mortal terror. I made up my mind to take his life. For many minutes, the heart beat on, but at length it ceased. The old man was stone dead. Now I took wise precautions to conceal the body. Then there came a knocking on the door. The shriek had been heard by a neighbor who called them to investigate. I smiled and bade them welcome and invited them to search. As the room had been restored to perfect order, I had nothing to fear. In my confidence, I brought chairs and asked them to rest, placing my own seat on the very spot beneath which reposed the victim. For a while, I was perfectly at ease, answering questions cheerily. Before long, though, I felt myself getting pale and wished they would leave. My head ached, and a ringing began in my ears, but still they sat and chatted. As the ringing in my ears grew louder, I talked in a louder voice. Now, a new noise came to my ears, the low, dull sound that a watch makes when wrapped in cotton. I gasped for breath and talked more quickly. The noise increased. I rose and argued about trifles, making wild gestures, but the noise grew even louder. I paced the floor. Will they never leave? I felt I must scream or die. Louder, louder, louder! Then I shrieked. I admit the deed! Tear up the planks! Here! Here! And stop the beating of his hideous old heart!